Shawty want romance, fucking no bro, man. Y'all already know, I know, yeah. Snapping like Kodak, she want me so bad. I just want all these hoes, yeah. Oh, no. Tried to start the flow, yeah. Had to duck and roll. I've been on the go. Running on, thinking I done enough. It's like a wish in a well. Damn. Fuck it up, waist like a rubber duck. I got some drip to sell, yeah. Out the face like, who is that? I'm going back to back. They like, oh, it's Jackson, that boy be cracked, that's facts. Always chasing them bags, always on me, them rags. Always chasing the cash, never going outside, never coming in last. It been just me for too long, how can I do wrong? Every beat get flew on. Checks on me like coupons, bitch, and the shit get pulled on. Shawty want romance, fucking no bro, man. Y'all already know, I know, yeah. Snapping like Kodak, she want me so bad. I just want all these hoes, yeah. Oh, no. Tried to start the flow, yeah. Had to duck and roll. I've been on the go. Popped in them up for the summer, yeah. Let some of my homies behind with a bummer. Snakes got mo, got done. Smooth little jet like butter. I don't win up like airplane mode. Stacking my chips and you know I don't fold. Throwing still new, I'm still paving these roads. Loving the view, so I'm doing the most. Yeah, walking with the venom, I get 'em. Killing with the pen, got dead 'em. All these other rappers, I'ma hit 'em, and the only reason they be on the up, cause I let 'em. Hold on, don't let me flex. No, I got one sad ex. I'm in the front like breast, yes. Know that I got 'em impressed. They know who really are next, yes. Shorty want romance, fucking no bro, man. Y'all already know, I know, yeah. Snapping like Kodak, she want me so bad. I just want all these hoes, yeah. Oh, no. Tried to start the flow, yeah. Had to duck and roll. I've been on the go. Shawty want romance, fucking no bro, man. Y'all already know, I know, yeah. Snapping like Kodak, she want me so bad. I just want all these hoes, yeah. Oh, no. Tried to start the flow, yeah. Had to duck and roll. I've been on the go.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies and D-Backs Game 4 of the NLCS here on Twitch. Doing the live commentary today is yours truly, Brian Mansell, sports media professional who's been working in the industry now for a couple years. And today we'll be calling the Phillies and D-Backs game, the series. Philly has the lead 2-1, and the D-Backs are looking to just even up the series tonight before they go into Game 5 tomorrow. One game at a time, that's how you get approaching the postseason. So far, a couple big storylines we can go over, but we don't have much time. This game starts in about a little less than 3 minutes, so we'll just make it quick then. With the Diamondbacks, a lot of great hitting we saw yesterday's game. The pitching was phenomenal, by the way. I don't know if we brought that up. Thad pitched a great game, and so did Ranger Suarez. Two great pitchers, two great performances. Can't be stated enough how well they played. As we bring in the scoreboard for the game up here, the scoreboard for this one will be up here in the top left. So keep track of the score as we go. I'm going to be doing ball strikes and trying to control the board as best as I can. Last time we did this, it was a trial run. We're going to try this again, this time for real. Now on the ticker on below, we're going to be updating it with the latest news I can, as much as I can, through ESPN's feed. This is all manually done. As of right now, Texas is beating Houston 4-2 in the top of the ninth. If Texas gets the final 3 outs, they'll be taking a 3-2 lead going back to Houston. So I'll be updating that soon, but that's where we're at the moment. But again, if you guys are tuning in for the first time, how about we go ahead. Feel free to follow us on Twitch if you guys like what you see or you want to keep up with our new content or whatever's going on. A follow really helps us grow here. We're looking to hit 15 followers. We're one more away from hitting our follower goal and advancing it to 20 afterwards. We're slowly trying to grow this as much as we can. But if you're seeing this on YouTube, consider subscribing. You know, we're trying to grow this channel as much as we can and give you guys the best content possible from a sports fan and professional perspective. So again, if you guys really enjoy what you see, feel free to do so. Again, this game is going to be a good one. That is no doubt. We're seeing Verlander up against, not Verlander, my apologies. I got switched up with the other game. My apologies again. Let me take a look and make sure I got the matchups correct. You're going to have probably 2 bullpen games, I'd say. Sanchez pitching for Philly, which is Christopher Sanchez. And you got Mantiply pitching for Arizona. Again, even though I'm wearing Arizona gear, I'm doing it more just because of who's involved in the game. So I'm just wearing these items. I'm not actually rooting for them. I want to make that disclaimer now if there's any Phillies fans in here. First pitch is 8:07. It is 8:06 right now as we speak. This is going to be an interesting one. I can't tell you outright who's going to win this game at the moment. if I was a guessing man, I'd probably say Arizona. But again, that's just because I like madness. So I like to see new things happen. So we'll see how it goes. But all we know now is that we're getting ready to approach our first pitch here at Chase Field in Arizona. Once again, if you guys are looking for a stream where you could actually watch the game, that is not going to be seen here. I cannot do that in good conscience because of the way the DMCAs work and copyright. But here's the Phillies batting order today. Schwarber leading off, followed by Turner and Harper in the top three. Bohm, Stott, and Realmuto are the 4 to 6. And then the 7 and 9 at the bottom is Castellanos, Marsh, and Rojas. Rojas is batting under 100 in this series, but his defense has really kept him in this lineup. Mantiply this season 2-2 with a 4.62 ERA, but in the postseason, he's allowed 3 runs and 3 hits in 3 innings pitched, along with 3 walks and only 2 strikeouts. So again, a big bullpen game coming for both teams. I can't tell you outright whose bullpen is stronger. I'm inclined to say the Phillies, but we saw what happened yesterday with Kimbrel and how that went. In the outfield defensively for the D-backs today, Moreno is behind the plate. You got Walker at first, Marte at second, Perdomo at short, and Emmanuel Rivera making the start today at third. And in the outfield, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. will be in left, Corbin Carroll in center, and Tommy Pham starting in right field. That is your defensive look for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tonight's umps, Mike Muchlinski will be the home plate ump, Trip Gibson on first, Adam Hamari on second, Andy Fletcher on third, Carlos Torres in left, and Dan Iasogna in right field. He is the crew chief today. Big game here, folks. I couldn't tell you without even a reasonable doubt who would win this game. I couldn't tell you. But I think everybody's ready. Phillies fans are ready. D-backs fans are ready. The chat is ready. Let's go. Playoff baseball, Game 5. Here's the first pitch. Swung on foul. Left off of Schwarber's bat. It's an 0-1 count to start. So already off to an interesting start here. Schwarber hitting 200 so far in this postseason. As Mantiply warms up for the next pitch. Here's the throw. This one's going to be low. Curveball. It's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, one thing to mention about this is there is a pitch clock here in baseball now as the next pitch is on its way, and that's fouled off to the right. Counts now 1-2. There is a pitch clock now in baseball for those who haven't watched or are watching it for the first time this year and haven't watched it all year up to this point. They are running a pitch clock now, so you can't. So now a pitcher has a certain amount of time to get a pitch out, batter a certain amount of time to step in the box, as the next pitch is going to miss just off the plate outside 2-2. So a 2-2 count now to Schwarber. In the bullpen, they've already got Frias warming up, or Frias, whichever is pronounced. Mantiply's next pitch is hitting the top of the zone, and they got Schwarber looking. He's down on strikes, top of the zone. Beautiful throw there. That was a curveball called strike right up top. He hung that one a little bit. You could argue balls and strikes all you want, but like I said earlier on the stream today, it doesn't matter if it's a ball or a strike. If it's a hittable ball, you swing the bat. And even though it's high in the zone, you got to swing it. You got to swing it. Can't take that risk. Because the next pitch from Mantiply is slightly off, but they're going to call that a strike. So once again, fans are going to start questioning the strike zone. But this postseason, Trey Turner, 471 average. He has been absolute dynamite this year. Or I should say right now for the Phillies. As the next pitch is swung on and missed inside on a foul tip from Trey Turner. 0-2 count now. Once again, I'm not going to be doing updates on the pitcher or batter in play. You're just going to have to hear it yourself. I can't really show it. It's very hard to keep up with. The next pitch is fouled off to the right. That was a sinker up high. Didn't get a good hold on that one, but Turner was ready for it. 0-2 count still. Turner's average of a 4.71 this postseason is actually the 5th highest in MLB history up to this point. Very interesting fact. The pitch from Joe is hit and down into right center for a base hit. That's going to get down. Pham throwing it into second to cut it off, but it's a single to lead off here for Trey Turner. He gets the action going. And so we have a runner on first, 1 out, and that's going to bring up Bryce Harper now for the Philadelphia Phillies. We are in a very interesting scenario, folks. Very interesting. What's going on, Armand? How are we doing today? Beautiful Friday night. Bryce Harper sitting there off the plate. Here's the pitcher, Mantiply. He gets a good hold of this one in the zone, but he is unable to keep that fair. That's going to be fouled down the left field line. So that's going to be a ball and a strike now to Harper. Trey Turner again on first with 1 out. I could totally sense a double play here, for being honest. I could sense a double play coming. Mantiply going for a check on first. He must have heard what I was saying. And tried to pick off just to make sure the Turner got back to the base. Now remember, if you guys are new to the baseball and the way it's working now, you only have a limit of 2 pick-off attempts per at-bat. You cannot do it more than twice in an at-bat. Otherwise, it's considered a balk, and that will put a guy on second because of it. As this pitch goes inside on Harper, and it's going to be 1-1. Astros leading 5-4 going to the bottom of the 9th. Well, that's a hell of a rally. Didn't see that coming. And they're going to check first. They're throwing a second. They caught him stealing. They caught Turner stealing. He went for second. Mantiply knew it was coming. Threw it to Walker. They got the out at second. He's out. Turner's off the base. It is 2 outs now for the Diamondbacks. Great play there by Joe Mantiply getting Turner out at second. He knew it was coming. He knew he was attempting to steal. And he got him anyway. So 2 outs now, nobody on, and it's a ball and a strike to Bryce Harper. Completely unexpected. I didn't expect the Astros to really come back in this one. I'm going to be honest with you. Back to that. I did not see it coming. But they're showing the T-Mobile base cam, and yeah, he definitely beat Turner to the bag. So with the 1-2 count now to Harper, Mantiply preparing, and they're going to call time. We have a little mound visit here between Moreno and Mantiply. They're going to talk a little bit, talk this over, see what it looks like. What they like, what they don't like. We're going to get a view here. Altuve hit a 3-run bomb in the top of the 9th. That makes so much sense. Of course, that is the reason they would be losing right now. Of course, it's got to be him. Well, here comes the pitch now to Harper as he's preparing for it, waiting on it. Mantiply delivers, swings, and tips it into the dirt. Count stays 1-2. Great job from Bryce being able to still make contact with that ball. He really should have held up on it. It would have been a ball regardless, but he's able to tip it. He takes it off the calf, though. It did hit him. So that must have hurt a little bit. But he should be fine. Series is still tied 2-2 right now on FS1. You guys can check it out there. That's where the game is being aired right now. It's in the bottom of the 9th as we speak. And with the Philly-Arizona game, well, they just got the 3rd out. Harper grounded it out, got it to first, and we're going to come out of this inning. The Phillies able to record 1 hit, nobody on, and we're going to the bottom of the 1st. So 3 outs, people, 3 outs, and the Phillies register a hit. And we can reset everything. So again, an interesting start, not bad from Joe Mantiply. Again, they're pitching a bullpen, so Frias is still warming up in the bullpen in the event he has to come in for the 2nd. Okay, Mitch Garver started with the single for the bottom of the 9th for the Rangers. Great. Thank you for the heads up, Armand. I always appreciate it. Trust me, I always do. Let me update the Philly information as well. So Philly game right now is at 0-0, as we were talking earlier. Going to make that clarification real quick. Done. And they're in the bottom 1. So the ticker is fully updated with baseball content. We're going to get NHL content quickly too, just make sure we got that covered. I don't want to miss a beat on this stuff. So at the end of the 1st, the Jersey Devils and the Islanders are tied at 1 apiece. So we're going to put that in as well. So right now, NHL Calgary is leading. Calgary's playing right now, but the Devils is where I was at. Devils, which started at 7:30, are tied at 1 apiece. So we're making that update as we speak right now. Ooh, things are getting interesting with the Rangers. Runners on first and second, no outs. Is there a chance that we could see the emergence here of a possible walk-off by the Rangers? Could they walk it off? We could possibly see a walk-off by the Rangers on the Astros, which would put all momentum on their side going into Game 6. That would be absolutely insane. I'm not joking. Okay, they're in the second. Calgary and Columbus are in the second now. Second period. If you guys are looking to watch the hockey games, Calgary and Columbus are playing on Bally Sports Ohio. So if you have that on your cable, make sure to tune into that one. If you don't, ESPN Plus or NHL Power Play will have it. Simeon up to the plate with 2 on and nobody out. As again, we are waiting for the Phillies to come back from commercial. That is where we are at. And the Calgary is down 1-0 right now against the Blue Jackets, if I'm correct. Yep. They are down. A play was made by Pena. As we're back from commercial, the Diamondbacks batting order tonight. Starling Marte. Not Starling. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Starling Marte. It's Ketel Marte leading off. Christopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies. 3.44 ERA. This is his first career postseason appearance. He's going to be pitching this one as Marte is going to lead off. And the first pitch is on its way and swung on. And it's a bouncer right to the second baseman. Makes the play over to Harper, and that's the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out already for the Phillies. So again, bottom of the first, 1 out. As we take a look here at the outfield for the Phillies, Real Muto behind the plate, Harper on first, Stott on second, Turner at short, and Bowman third. And in the outfield, you've got Marsh, Johan Rojas, and Nick Castellanos in order from left to right, left, center, right. As Corbin Carroll's at the plate, and the first pitch is going to be taken outside for a strike. 0-1 count. So Carroll has been struggling in this NLCS, but he's starting to pick up his action a little bit at a time. He was really good this season, and he swings on this one and fouls it off to left. Counts now 0-2. Seager apparently flew out, and now the runners are staying at first and second with 2 outs in the Rangers game. As the pitch is on its way in the dirt, 1-2 for the Arizona Diamondbacks here in Corbin Carroll. The 1-2 count. Sanchez preparing pitch. He's making his call. The windup. The delivery. Sends it right back to the pitcher. He's just going to underhand it right to Harper for the second out. Carroll down on a simple 1-3. A simple but effective 1-3, I should say. Simple but effective. That is the truth. So up to the plate now comes Gabriel Moreno, the catcher. He's been hitting pretty well in this series. I can't lie. He's been hitting very well. But the question is, can they maintain that? Well, that is yet to be seen. Moreno so far in this NLCS 2 for 11 with a double and 2 strikeouts. So the first pitch is on its way, and it's called strike outside. Touches the box, so it is definitely a strike. And this one was a sinker on him. Sanchez probably going to stick with breaking balls here. The next pitch is going to be well off the plate outside. That's going to be first ball of the game. Of the at-bat for Gabriel Moreno. So the count is 1-1 with 2 outs. Again, nobody on. The next pitch is also outside, 2-1 count. Trying to experiment with that changeup a little bit. It's not going anywhere. Not working. So Sanchez trying his best to try and catch Moreno off guard and hit it into play. Let's see if he can pull it off right here. The pitch on its way. He gets a hold of this one. He pops it up. Harper going into foul territory, and he's going to wave it off. The play is going to be made by Bryson Stott instead for the final out And we're coming out of the first here. The Phillies drop them down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Game is still scoreless. As we've reached our 3 outs, and we're going now to the top of the second. So that's where we are at this moment exactly. Quick read through on the chat. Evan Carter's coming up. Josh Smith, who pinch ran for Garver at second, should have tagged up on the Seager flyout because it was a deep flyout to center. Yup. He definitely should have tagged up. Would have tagged up, probably would have got the third. And at that point, it probably would have been game over. A simple single would have tied the game. And they would have went to extras. But the Astros win the series now. Carter struck out at the plate. The Astros win 5-4 thanks to Jose Altuve's 3-run go-ahead homer. The Astros now lead the series 3-2 going back to Houston. So it's looking more and more likely that Houston goes back to the World Series now after a strong, impressive performance, I have to say, in that 9th inning by Jose Altuve, putting them back in the game here. It's the final call here. Final Houston 5, Texas 4. Well, the good news is Houston's not supposed to be a good home team, so hopefully they can force a Game 7 and finish it off in Game 7. That's what it would take. I would really like to see that. But we will see. Top second now for the Phillies and the D-backs. Should be very interesting, folks. Should be very interesting. I mean that. And thank you, Armand, for helping me keep up with everything. I really appreciate it. It definitely helps me out because I'm looking at 1,000 things at once while watching the television to call the game. So this ain't easy. This is not easy. Easy to do. Not at all. Now again, Philly is leading this series. As a reminder to everybody, they're leading the series 2-1. You can watch this one if you want to see it physically. It's on TBS. In hockey right now, let's get a quick little hockey update while we're in this little break. In hockey, the score still remains 1-1 for Jersey and New York, the Islanders and the Devils. It's the end of the first, still waiting to come back to the second period. Calgary and Columbus, still 1-0, Columbus leading over. 8 minutes left in the second period. You can watch that on Bally Sports Ohio, or if you don't have that, ESPN+. For New Jersey and the Islanders, you can watch it on MSG or NHL Network. Those are your options. Okay. Oh, I didn't hear about that. So Armand says, Brian, thoughts on Kim Ang rejecting to interview for the Red Sox job. I gotta say, I get it. I get why. I'm not 100% sure why she wouldn't take it. I think it's a great organization to be a part of. This comes from a Yankee fan, by the way. I'm a Yankee fan. I think it's a good organization. As the first pitch comes on the way, swung on and missed, it's the first strike. And they brought in Frias. Frias is the pitcher now for... Frias is now the pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. The next pitch is on the way, and it's thrown inside. Counts now 1-1. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why Kim Ang wouldn't take a consideration for that option, like to go for that job. Personally, I don't know. I think it's not bad. The way I'll explain it better this way. The job opening there is attractive as Bohm grounds it to third, and Rivera gets a nice throw over to first to Walker for the first out at the top of the second. I get why she wanted to leave, and it's completely right. I still stand by that. She was right to leave the Marlins. They weren't going to help her. But yeah, I think she wants to stick it to the Marlins. That's a possibility. She could stick and prove it wrong, go out there and go a little for vengeance, go to the Mets and become a general manager. But the thing is, they have a president of baseball ops. She wants to be a president. Can that still be offered to her, though, if they already have one? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know why she would do the Mets. It's not a bad get for the Mets, but it doesn't make sense. As the first pitch from Frias is swung on and missed, fastball down in the dirt, and he definitely ties up Stott on that one. They already got Nelson warming up in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. They really are pitching a bullpen game to its full extent. I would totally see her being with the Mets if it wasn't for the fact that she wants to be more. there has to be more to her departure from the Marlins. Yeah, absolutely, Armand. I think there definitely has to be more to this. As Stott grounds this and sends it to right, it's going to be foul. Counts now 0-2 for Bryson Stott, the second baseman for the Phillies. So it is an 0-2 count now. No, I think Kim Ng is a great baseball mind. And her going to the Red Sox would have been beautiful and would have really made them a big juggernaut in that division. As next pitch on his way inside, and it's looking like he might have tipped it. I think they're saying he fouled it off. So he wasn't hit by the pitch. It's not a strikeout. He swung on it and he tipped it he tipped it right on his shin. That hurts. You guys ever taken a baseball to the shin? Ever taken a baseball to the shin? It hurts. It sucks. It's not fun. It's painful. Bryson Stott, 226 so far this postseason. 1 homer and 7 ribbies. In the NLCS, he hasn't been the best. He's only got 2 hits so far and 10-plus at-bats. So, not the best he's been. The pitch from Frias is inside again, and he swings and misses. Gets him on the cutter, and that's going to be the second out. Here, a strikeout for Frias here. That was very, very beautifully thrown. I can't say that enough. It was a beautiful pitch. The cutter came in looking like it was going to hug the inside of the zone, and it dropped so sharply he wasn't prepared for it, and he swung low like it was a golf club. Gets the out. Beautiful tie-up. Beautiful execution. 2 outs now. Frias the next pitch. Top of the zone. Lobs it in there for the strike. Realmuto wasn't ready for that one. Realmuto so far, 2.73 average with 2 homers and 10 ribbies in this postseason. Bryce putting it through with the fastball just inside. It's going to be 1-1. 1-1 count. Going through the chat here again. I don't think she wants a president of baseball ops because the Red Sox looking for one, and why wouldn't she interview with them for that spot? Yeah, I mean, she could have totally interviewed for it. You're right. As the next pitch starts playing, fouled off by Realmuto to the backstop. 1-2. Yeah, absolutely. I think she totally could have been part of that. I think she wants a spot where she's going to feel valued in her job, not where, they're going to offer her a person to go above her who wasn't at her level. It was in her department they were promoting above her. And she wasn't okay with that. As Frias throws the next pitch, and he gets a hold of this one, sending it to left center. Doesn't have the distance. And a beautiful play made at the wall. A leaping grab and left by Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Oh my goodness, what a robbery. That man said, and I quote, he came up like that. And he slammed himself into the wall. What a play by Gurriel. His whole arm was above the yellow line of the wall. And he makes an incredible grab, robbing a home run from JT Realmuto. And they're getting out of the inning here with no damage done. Beautiful, beautiful play. You're going to see that on highlight reels the rest of the night, just so you guys know. You're going to see that on the highlight reels tomorrow. So the Phillies the Phillies are unable to produce a hit here or produce a run. No runs, no hits, no errors. Diamondbacks are going to the bottom of the second. Leading off in the next one will be, it looks to be Christian Walker will be leading off here in the bottom of the second, followed by Pham and then Gurriel Jr., who just made that amazing play in left center. Oh my goodness. I think Kim Ng would be really good with the Mets. And if she's okay with just being a general manager, great fit. I'm not against that at all. I think wherever she goes, she's going to be very valued. Okay, Armand also says, I fouled a baseball to my nuts when I was younger, and I was wearing a cup, and it hurt like hell. Well, if you ever played a men's rec league, sometimes guys don't wear cups. I'm going to tell you guys. It's going to be a funny story. I got a funny story for you guys. So a couple years back, I was playing in a men's league back when I was living in New York. And when I was living there, we were running a men's league for just playing like softball, but then I joined a league for baseball. So we were hitting actual baseballs and full everything. I had to ump a couple games and make some calls. Keep in mind, my strike zone isn't the best. I definitely need to get some training if I'm going to be better at it. So there's a play where I'm making from behind the chain link fence because I'm sitting there just hanging out. They told me to stay there so I didn't get hit because I didn't have any protective equipment. So I was trying to call balls and strikes from behind the fence. Obviously impossible. So I'm sitting there posed like this, right? And I'm bent over. The ball comes in on the next pitch, gets away from the catcher, slides between his legs. There's a gap in the fence. Slides underneath the fence, perfectly fitting into that gap. Rings the bell. And I'm immediately throwing up on the floor. Immediately. It was bad, man. It was really bad. Comes in just right there, right in the crotch, and you're just sitting there like this, wondering about your life's decisions and why you chose to be an ump for this game. Because again, if I hadn't been standing there, it probably would have went in the bushes underneath the fence, not a big deal. I was standing there, I stopped it, it was just boom, boom, straight down. That was probably the most painful one I've taken. And I've taken 85 to the head. And I'm telling you, that one hurt way worse than taking 85 to the head. I think half of it because I had a concussion. But the pitch on its way from Sanchez, and it is fouled off. 0-1 count. They're replaying the play from Real Muto. And that play was just absolutely incredible by Gurriel at the wall. Leaning back like almost OBJ-esque. As this one's grounded to first, Walker grounds it out to Bohm, who sends it out to Walker. Wait. Harper could not make the tag. He's safe at first. It was a rough throw from Bohm. Harper had to come off the bag, make a grab. He tried to turn around and make the tag on Walker. But Walker makes it into the base by, I believe he slid. I believe he just slid into the base. That's actually incredible. It's being clocked as a throwing error by Alec Bohm, and he reached down. Yup, that's exactly what happened. Walker saw it coming in high. Harper was going to go for the tag, so Walker dips down and goes into slide to first to be safe, and he gets away with it. It's being registered as an E5, an error on Alec Bohm. So there's your first error of the game. Run on first counts 0-1 now. That was not a good play right there. Philly now has an error to their name, and a man's now on first for Arizona. Not good. Not good. Chat got very quiet after I told that story. I'm a little shocked. Count is now 1-1. That was a ball in the dirt that time. Tommy Pham, 2-4-2. He's the one at the plate right now, the right fielder. Pitch from Sanchez is low in the dirt again. This one is a changeup. So 2 changeups now. He's thrown back to back. He won't throw the fastball today. I'm a little curious why. I'm guessing it didn't look the best in warm-ups. So I'm going to assume he's going to stick with more breaking balls as he can. So this could be sinker, slider, whatever he decides here. As the pitch is on its way, that's a sinker inside. He fouls it off. 2-2 count. Once again, man on first is Christian Walker. There are no outs. Tommy Pham at the plate looking for a big hit to get the momentum going absolutely wild at Chase Field for the Diamondbacks. Sanchez is going to go for a pickoff attempt at first. Not even close. Walker's back to first with ease. He could literally walk in there. Sanchez looking, 7 on the clock. The throw swung on and fouled back to what looked like the ump for a sec, to that home plate umpire. But it is not a strike. It's just a foul ball. So 2-2 remains to count. I'm a little shocked by this. I can't lie to you guys. Pham is really battling in this one. Thompson don't look happy. He could be prepared at any moment to pull this guy out if they get more guys on base. Like I said, they're looking at a bullpen game, but this guy's been solid so far through it. They haven't had to worry about it. Last time he pitched, though, was September 30th. This one's off the plate. Bad changeup throw there. Gets away from him. It's a 3-2 count. Full count now for him. He's throwing nothing but sinkers and changeups in this at-bat. Will he go back to the sinker here, or will he go for his 4th changeup? The pitch to Pham is going to hit the bottom corner of the zone inside and ring him up. He's going to go down looking. Pham goes down on strikes. And that'll register as a strikeout for Christopher Sanchez. 1 out, man still on first. Great job fooling him up. He thought it was going to be right down the middle or close to the low in the zone. Or actually, he looked like he thought it was going to break lower and be a ball. He held up on it, ended up not breaking as hard. It was fine. The next throw is, and that's going to drop him into the dirt. Oh, no. Gurriel just took a hard swing there, and he definitely did not look great off that. The slider was just about to border the zone. Gurriel got a hold of it, but he fouled it right off the shin pad that he had there. And he's doing they have a little bit of an injury delay going on. They're checking him out just to make sure he's good. He's able to still stand and walk on it, put some weight on it, but hate to see that for a guy who had just a big impact play just a half inning ago to close it out with that big play at the left field wall. But he looks good to go. He's going to stay in. He's going to go for the next pitch here. He's got to be a little bit more wise with how he approaches it at the plate, but it's an 0-1 count. The next pitch from Sanchez is swung on and fouled again, this time to the left field line. 0-2 count now. That's 2 strikes, no balls. He's going to need a big strike here. Big strike is needed here from Sanchez to make it 2 outs. And Gurriel needs a good hit here to help keep the D-backs momentum alive right now, coming off of what just happened at the top of the second. The pitch from Sanchez is well outside, 1-2. They thought they were going to get him reaching like Correa does. Wait, not Correa. I think Javi Baez is the one I'm thinking of. I think they thought he was going to reach across the plate like Javi Baez does. Here comes the pitch from Sanchez again. This one in the middle, it goes right back to the pitcher. It's going to be a 1-3 little toss. It'll advance the runner, but it's now 2 outs for the D-backs. Man in scoring position now. You could take the man off first. He's on second now. 2 outs, man on second for the D-backs. And that is going to bring up Evan Longoria to hit. The longtime veteran and at one point a possible Baseball Hall of Famer. I don't think so anymore, but at one point he was considered a Hall of Famer. Longoria sits on it, waits for it, and it's going to be right in the bottom, right below the heart of the zone, but it's still in the zone. It's a strike, 0-1 count. If you guys are wondering the clicking, this is me adjusting the board as we talk. Sanchez loads up, fires in the dirt. Ball 1. It's still hard to believe that the Phillies are here because of what they did to the Braves in the NLDS. The damage they put on, the upsets they pulled, was truly remarkable. As Sanchez prepares to throw again, also off the plate and low. 2-1. It's actually impressive to think about. 25 pitches so far for Sanchez, but the Phillies doing what they did, shutting down the league's best offense and possibly the most historic offense you'll see of this 20th century, of the 21st century, and keeping them from even reaching the championship series. It's actually impressive. And we've got a pass ball here that gets away from Real Muto, and it's going to put Walker to third. A passed ball wild pitch is going to put him on third base in a 3-1 count now for Mr. Evan Longoria. He missed it low. Real Muto couldn't see it. It went right beneath his ankle. Got right behind him, and it went off to the backstop. So now man on third. They're showing it again. Sanchez puts it low, but it looks like Real Muto wasn't prepared for it to break so hard. This one inside again, and they're going to walk Longoria. So it's a walk for the D-backs, and they're going to have runners in the corners now. Still 2 outs, but a man on first and third now for the D-backs. Still haven't registered a hit yet. Technically, the one hit they did register was off of an error from Alec Bohm earlier on in this half inning. Alec Bohm, the third baseman, went to go make a play and throw it to first to Bryce Harper, but it was too high and far off the bag, so he went to make a play, turned around to make the tag on Christian Walker, and Walker hit the dirt and slid into first to make the play and be safe for a single. But unfortunately, they did not register it a hit. They registered it an E5, so it's an error on Bohm. No hit is called for that. So for those who have never done baseball scorekeeping, the way that would work is right now it would be registered as no runs, no hits, no errors at the moment. One error. No runs, no hits, one error. And the reason why is because there's just hasn't been a hit. The hit that happened wouldn't have been a hit if the error didn't happen. That's why. If it was an accurate throw, he would have been out, and it would have been registered a hit. So they treat it as he didn't get the hit. He only got on base because of an error. So they register an error not as a hit. So you only write down the error. You don't write down about the hit. That's the cool thing about baseball. Sanchez throws it low and outside, but it's in the zone. That's a strike to Emmanuel Rivera. In the regular season, 2.61 average with 4 homers, 29 ribbies. This NLCS, he still has yet to register a hit. They had a mound visit during that little break that they had, and Sanchez is staying in the game, but I believe they're going to be making a call to bullpen to get somebody warmed up because they're not liking the looks of this right now for their starter at the moment. 29 pitches now in this at-bat. The count is 1-1. The count is 1-1 to Rivera. Sanchez. Looking. Gets a good hit here. It's going to get by the second baseman going down to center. That's going to score Walker. And that's going to move. Oh my goodness. Rivera with an RBI single. They get their first hit along with their first run. An RBI single for Emmanuel Rivera. And the D-backs are up 1-0 now in this one. He sent it low into the zone. And it got by the pitcher. But it went into second base just off the right to the bag. Just off the right of the bag. And Bryson Stott cannot get there to stop it. It goes right out into center. The throw in from Rojas is too far. Walker easily scores. So now they got Walker scored. Rivera's now on second. Perdomo's at the plate batting. And the first pitch from Perdomo is popped up in the air. Shallow. Infield. Play coming in. Stott's calling it. He makes the play for the final out. But not before the Arizona Diamondbacks strike first and get the first run of the game. Once again, come from an RBI single by Emmanuel Rivera that scores Christian Walker. We're going to the top of the third now. The Phillies are going to have to put on some kind of runs to catch up here. What sucks is I completely forgot who was on second. It was definitely Longoria. Once again, I apologize. That's why it sounded very awkward. That call should have been way better. But again, I'm working on it. I'm working on as much as I can with these calls. It's not easy. Yeah. But again, for you guys who are tuning in for the first time, if you're watching us for the first time doing a play-by-play on Twitch, please consider giving us a follow. It goes a long way in helping us grow and get some more exposure here on the sports community part of Twitch. We are one follow away from hitting 15, so please help us reach that goal so we can continue to prove why we have the best followers in all of Twitch. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to be looking to do some more content down the line. We want to try and do some more football stuff, baseball stuff, NBA stuff, hockey stuff, things with fans and coaches and players. That's what we're aiming for with the channel. So if you guys could really help subscribe to that, we would love to continue making this kind of content and, really do it for you guys and make it enjoyable and fun, something you guys can really connect with. But again, thank you guys so much for choosing us today for your Phillies-Dbacks coverage. It means a lot to us. So once again, a quick recap. Philly has a hit that they registered in the first inning, but the D-backs here in the bottom of the second just went completely crazy after some errors from Christopher Sanchez. It started out pretty okay for them. At first, Christian Walker ended up reaching, but it was from a throwing error by Alec Bohm. That's why it wasn't registered a hit the first time. Harper went to make the tag, couldn't make the tag, and Christian Walker slid into first, no problems, safe. Tommy Pham got called out on strikes his time at the plate, so led to 1 out. Gurriel came up to the plate, and he ended up grounding out to Sanchez. And during the ground out to Sanchez, where he threw it over to Harper, it got the second out of the inning, but Walker advanced to second. So now a runner in second with 2 outs, which brought up at that point Evan Longoria. Now, during the Evan Longoria at bat, there was a passed ball by JT Realmuto. He didn't get his glove down low enough. Christopher Sanchez could not control the pitch, and it broke a little harder. He wasn't ready for it, and it got by him. Walker advanced to third. And so Longoria ended up walking, so he had runners on first and third. And Emmanuel Rivera comes up the plate and hits a hard hit single that gets by the second baseman into center field. And it scores Walker, which gave them the lead and the one registered hit they had. So 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left on. And the D-backs now lead 1-0 as we go into the top of the third. The pitch from Frias is going to be ruled a strike. It's a called strike on his beautiful cutter as the second pitch comes in and he swings and misses. Castellanos is the one at the plate, but that's an 0-2 count now for him. So 0-2 now to Castellanos. Frias doing a pretty good job at this point, controlling the Phillies bats, trying not to let too much happen. The next pitch in the 0-2 count is popped up, going back, and it's going to go out of play. So 0-2 count, still top of the third, no outs. Castellanos at the plate. Castellanos has been very, very good so far in this postseason. But the upcoming schedule, just so you guys know, Phillies-Dbacks NLCS Game 5 is tomorrow, 7 Eastern, TBS, True TV, and on the Max app. Rangers-Astros, Game 6, Sunday, 8 Eastern, FS1. That one's a big game. Houston just pulled off a miracle win today. As this one gets away from Frias and it ends up being high and inside for the first ball. Counts 1-2. It actually was pretty wild. In the top of the ninth, they had their backs against the wall, and they got a couple guys in scoring position. And Castellanos swings and misses on an outside low ball that would have clearly been a ball. But he reached for it, he swung for it, and he gets struck out. And that's the first out of this inning. Beautiful break, went lower than he was planning for, and he just couldn't keep up with it. It was also a very slow swing, I have to say. He didn't want to swing at it, but it was too late. He had already committed. And Lovello's coming in to pull Frias out of the game. They're going to turn to the bullpen and bring in a new arm as Frias gets a good ovation from the way he's pitched up to this point. He didn't allow a single hit in that entire time. They're making a call to the bullpen for their next man as they're going to commercial break. So we'll talk about what happened in the Houston game real quick. In the Houston game, what ended up happening with Houston was you're in the top of the ninth. You got a couple guys on base. They're in a good scenario. You know, they're in full control. I mean that. They're in full control for the game. Rangers were doing their jobs, no problem. You know, they had a 2-run lead. They were trying their best to not let it get away from them. And unfortunately, it got away from them. It did. And in that top 9, they scored 3 runs. And it was because of a 3-run homer by Altuve. So let's go into the play-by-play, and I'll explain to you guys exactly what happened. So the man who had been pitching well all series for the Rangers in their bullpen, which you guys can pretty much guess who it is. It's Leclerc, who's been acting like their closer at this point. They have a 4-2 lead. They put Jankowski in right field. Leclerc is pitching. Diaz comes in to hit for Pena. So Yainer Diaz comes in, gets a single to start. So he's on first. Then you got Singleton in for Martín Maldonado because Maldonado got ejected. Wait, no, he didn't get ejected. My fault. There was a fight earlier in the game. Adolis Garcia got ejected, and then they put in, I think also Abreu, their reliever, got ejected. So even though Maldonado was involved, he was pinch hit for. Singleton comes in. He walks, so Diaz is on second now. Altuve is the next man up. And with the man on first and second and no outs, Jose Altuve takes a changeup on the second pitch of the at-bat and sends it out to left. And a 3-run homer gives them the lead right away. Astros are right in front, and then followed by a fly out by Dubon to left. Bregman lined out to second, and Alvarez struck out swinging. So 1-2-3 right after that, but a 3-run homer is enough damage. And then the Rangers had a chance. They had a chance. Kessner was put at shortstop. Garver hit a single to left, so they had a man on first. Hine then singled to right, and Smith went to second. Smith is coming in who pinch ran for Mitch Garver. So you had a man on first and second. Simeon then lined out to the shortstop, so 1 out. Seager then flew out to center, but it was deep, and if Smith would have tagged up, they probably would have gotten to third in time, so they would have run on the corners, but they didn't do that. And then Carter came up to the plate and struck out, so it didn't matter. Astros now lead the series 3-2, and they're going back to Houston, Game 6 on Sunday, FS1. So the first pitch of the at-bat here from Kyle Nelson is a ball to Brandon Marsh. The next pitch is on its way, and that one is well in the zone for a strike. Beautiful slider there, 85. So 1-1 is the count now to Brandon Marsh. 1 out. Castro warming up in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. The next pitch is beautiful breaking ball slider to the outside and low. It would have been a ball if he didn't swing. And Marsh swung because he thought it was going to be right in the zone. So 1-2 now to Marsh. The pitch from Nelson is low and near the dirt. So you guys probably assume 2-2. 2-2, near the dirt. Not great, not great. But you're trying to get him to bite on off pitches. As the next pitch from Nelson is swung on and goes over his mitt, but Perdomo's there to make the play over to Walker for a quick 6-3 ground out for the second out. Marsh goes out on a ground ball. 2 outs now. One more way to get out of this one. Again, bullpen's been doing a great job for the Diamondbacks thus far. Perdomo was lucky to be in the right place at the right time, gets a nice little throw over to Walker, makes a great play, great catch. And now up to the plate, we're towards the bottom of the order. Showing bunt is Rojas. 0-1 count because he tried to bunt. His average is an 0.63 in the postseason, and that's all you got to know about the way he's been hitting. Nelson's next pitch is going to be low and inside, and he swings anyway like it was going to be a fastball. 0-2. I'm a little confused about his approach to the plate, actually. I'm genuinely confused. Why? Why would Rojas swing at those? The next pitch is low in the dirt, so he learned his lesson, so 1-2. It's a 1-2 count with 2 outs now. Rojas, again, a rookie this year who got called up mid-season to help out the Phillies in the outfield. Had a great regular season. Didn't hit great, but his fielding is why he's still here. And that pitch gets him looking outside zone, outside and low corner. Nelson gets out of it, gets the outs needed. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Diamondbacks. We're going to the bottom of the third, people. Bottom of the third, no runs, no hits, no errors. Beautiful, beautiful job. Let's go check out what's going on here in the chat. What's up, everybody? How are you guys feeling today? What are your thoughts on the game so far? About 2.5 innings through, so some decent performances we're seeing from the Diamondbacks bullpen today. And the hitting has been pretty solid, too. I can't lie. They've been good. No arguments here. Been solid. What do you guys thought? What are the Phillies going to have to do to really get back in this thing? What will it take? I'd love to hear your thoughts. In the meantime, let's check on what's going on in hockey. What is happening in hockey now that I haven't updated the ticker yet? And I need to do that. I definitely need to do that. Sorry, everybody. Going to have to do that. So 1-0. We're going to the bottom of the third there. In hockey right now, they're in the end of this. They just ended the second period now between Calgary and Columbus. It's still 1-0 Columbus. So we're going to update that real quick here. Score is 1-0 Arizona. We're going to the bottom of the third, so I'm going to mark that here. Bot 3. Calgary's up on Columbus. End of the second. If you guys are looking to watch that hockey game, it is on Bally Sports Ohio, or if you don't have that stuff on your cable, you guys can check that one out on ESPN+. And the Devils and Islanders are in the second period now, but both teams are tied at 3. They scored a lot of goals since the end of the first. So they're in the second now. You can watch that one on MSG if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area. And if you're not, you can watch it on NHL Network. But so far, I have to say, I've got I really like what's been done so far by the Diamondbacks. Just a different approach today. They know what they're facing. Sanchez really hasn't been wasn't doing phenomenal this year. Just everything's working in their favor. But let's see if anything's going on in latest news. Let's check it out. Anything new going on? Let's see. Nothing. We've got no news so far, but I do want to talk about the ejection that did happen in today's game. There was an ejection from a brawl that happened early that got Adolis Garcia tossed from the game. He got hit by a pitch. He had hit a 3-run homer earlier in the game that really propelled the Rangers forward. And in the 8th inning, he had got plunked by Abreu, and it set him off. And it was between him and Maldonado that the heat started. He started yelling at Maldonado. It became a whole situation, and they were going back and forth. It became a real problem. And then it ended up getting Adolis ejected, and it got Abreu ejected. We'll go through the clip once we get into another commercial break, because they're back. As the pitch from Sanchez is coming in, they did not pull him. That's a strike. It's going to be low in the middle of the zone. Marte facing a 1-1 count now. The next pitch coming in is, he gets a hold of this one, sends it to short. Turner trying to make a hard play. It's a roller, but it doesn't get there in time. Marte is safe at first. It's a single, and the D-backs have a man on with no outs. Once again. And a quick reminder, if you guys are tuning into the stream, I am not a D-backs fan. I'm going to say that right now. I'm just wearing this because again, it's the D-backs. They're in the series. So I felt that this was best. I do have one piece of Philly thing, but it's like kind of Philly, kind of not. Right here I actually have one of their minor league teams, which I have a hat of. The Jersey Shore Blue Claws. As a swing from Corbin Carroll's foul back, it's going to be an 0-1 count. The Jersey Shore Blue Claws, their high A affiliate, one of their pitchers actually who is in their bullpen for the playoffs was with them earlier this year and made a miraculous rise through the ranks this year. Orion Kirkering, he started out with Threshers this year. Then he was with Jersey Shore for about 18 to 20 games. As this one gets by Real Muto, another wild pitch, and that'll advance Marte to second. Another wild pitch from Christopher Sanchez. Again, no outs, a ball and a strike to Corbin Carroll, who you definitely don't want to throw a meatball to, because he will absolutely take your yard, or he's going to somehow stretch a triple out of what should be a single, because he's that fast. But again, Kirkering started out with the Threshers, then he came over to the Blue Claws. I had the privilege of getting to watch him for a few games, and he was absolutely amazing. His stuff was great. And I mean, his sweeper is one of the most incredible breaking balls you'll ever watch. As this pitch is fouled off by Carroll, counts now 1-2. It's one of a sweeper that breaks like 12 to 15 inches from release point is insane. It goes from here, it could be here on the plate and end up off the plate. It's that strong. And his is considered one of the best you'll see in the National League. And this one gets by Sanchez. Play made by the shortstop. They get Carroll out at first, but that advances Marte to third. Carroll's going to be out, but it's a little too late. They got a man really in scoring position, for real. And now they're threatening. Thompson's coming out. They're going to have to pull Sanchez. They're calling to the bullpen. They're going to be pulling him. They're going to put in a new reliever. Once again, a ball that just got right by Sanchez. He would have made the play. He could have got him out himself. Instead, Turner had to come over and make the play to Harper to get him out. And Sanchez coming out of the game now. They're making a call to the bullpen. Into the game, we'll see shortly who the pitcher is. But one out, man on third, and coming up to bat is Gabriel Moreno. We are still yet to see the name. We're going to have to find out in a second. When I get the information, I'll tell you guys as soon as I can. But yes, what a moment that just was. Sanchez didn't make that grab. It actually came up when he went to make the play. It came up right here, right? And when he went to drop low to grab it, it came in between here in the gap. And he wasn't able to get it, so it got right by him. But luckily, Turner covered him. And if Turner wasn't there to make the play, it was probably going to go to center. And that would have got Marte home. So, I can't be mad. I can't complain about that. They got bailed out, but it easily could have gone wrong a lot faster. So they're making a pitch and change, people. They're making a pitch and change. So a quick question, actually, to you guys. Let me ask you guys a question. Did you think that the D-backs would ever be in this position at any point this season? Did you ever think to yourself that they're going to make the postseason and they're going to make the Phillies work to go to the World Series? That they're going to be a serious challenger? Did anybody really ever think that? It's a serious question. Because coming to the year, everybody was saying the Phillies were the team to beat. There was nobody stopping them. And then they had a really bad start halfway through the season. Everything changed. Harper came back, decided to play first to replace Rhys Hoskins, and everything took off. So that's my question. What do you guys think? Well, what did you feel that the D-backs were going to be this team that you're seeing now? Great pitching, great hitting, everything working together, good management, and almost becoming like America's team in a sense. Well, speaking of Phillies relievers, Jeff Hoffman's coming in. In this postseason, he actually hasn't been bad. 2 earned runs, 1 hit in... take it back. 2 earned runs and 1 hit in less than 3 innings pitched. Not good. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. But we'll see. Moreno's going to come up to the plate. He hasn't been hitting. He didn't hit great this regular season, but in this postseason, he has been pretty reliable. Pretty reliable, I'd say. If you go through his postseason stats, actually, he's batting at .214. Compare his regular season stats of a .284. It's definitely not good. But he's got 3 homers, too, which is just under half of what he's had all year. So he's been hitting bombs. So Moreno's at the plate. Hoffman, the pitcher. The righty coming in. Here's the pitch, and this one's going to be swung on and missed. Strike 1. Moreno, being a little quiet hero for them in their big moments in the NLDS against the Dodgers. Had some big homers, some big plays that really helped them propel themselves forward, as Hoffman's pitch is going to be well off the plate. 1-1. Interestingly enough, you still got Marte on third, but there's a realistic scenario where if he hits a fly ball deep enough, he'll score him and it'll be a 2-0 ball game. That's all they need. As this one swung on and fouled off to the right, counts now 1-2. I'm genuinely fascinated, by the way. I'm genuinely fascinated by what I'm watching unfold. The Phillies pitching actually looks a little bit rattled today. They look a little erratic. Like they're not all put together today. But it's a 1-2 count regardless. And the next pitch is low and missing the zone outside. Count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hoffman 4 pitches deep into the at-bat. On deck waiting is Christian Walker. 0 for 1 today because of the error. But here's a good hit. That's going down the right field line. That's going to score Marte. Fielding is Castellanos. And it's an RBI single for Gabriel Moreno. And the Diamondbacks lead 2-0 here on the Phillies in the bottom of the third. That was completely unexpected. I said they needed a good hit here. They needed to capitalize. You got to get ahead of the Phillies with how high power their offense is. And it was a beautiful swing that hugged the right field line. And Castellanos had to come in and pick it up in foul territory to throw it back in. And again, great play. Now you got a man on first with just runs scored with 1 out. As the first pitch is on its way and it's a called strike to Christian Walker. High in the zone though. So 0-1 count now to Walker. Reached on error in his first time at bat. Up to the plate. The pitch from Hoffman is fouled back by Walker to the backstop. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Once again, a lot of questions with this game I've got to ask. You got to ask yourself here. What is going on with the Phillies pitching that they're missing the targets? I feel like they're making bad pitch selections. Your breaking ball can be really effective in helping you. But usually the movement on your breaking balls, each one has the exact same movement. You can't manipulate it. As the next Hoffman pitch is fouled off again, 0-2 count. So what I mean by that is let me see if I got a baseball. Let me see if I got a baseball as we're waiting for the next pitch. I'm going to see if I got one somewhere. I'll go through it with you guys once I find it. I'm probably going to have to wait until the next pitch, and then I'll show it to you guys. But, oh, no, I have it here. All right. So I have a baseball that I used to use to help train people a little bit in their grips, right? So I'll show you guys in a second. But Hoffman, preparing for his windup. Here's the pitch on its way. He went to check the swing. They're saying he went, and Walker goes down swinging. It's a strikeout for Hoffman, and it's 2 outs now for the Phillies. MLBshop.com is a Fanatics experience. You guys can go out there to find all your MLB material and merchandising if you want for your favorite teams and show off your fandom. I'm just reading off whatever I'm seeing on the TV. As the next pitch is swung on and missed by who looks to be Tommy Pham. It is Tommy Pham. First time up at the plate, he struck out. This time he already swung at a strike, so we'll see if that trend continues. 0-1 count, 2 outs. Hoffman preparing. The pitch is on its way, and it's almost another wild pitch. That would have been the third one Realmuto had to deal with, but he reels it in. It's 1-1 count. So what I was talking about with you guys is this pitch. So what I mean by the breaking ball stuff is not that every breaking ball is going to break the same, right? It doesn't really work like that. But when you're pitching, it's going to have the same movement every time depending on what pitch you're using. As Hoffman prepares for the windup here, they're calling for the middle of the zone. Here's the pitch. He swings and gets it, but it goes right to the third baseman, Bowman. Tries to make the play and gets it to Harper at first for the final out of the inning. But the damage has been done. Moreno, an RBI single to help put these Diamondbacks further ahead as we go to the top of the fourth. The score remains now 2-0. And that's where we currently stand in this game. And now we're going to talk about this breaking ball a little more now that we're in commercial break. So, I usually experimented with like 5 different pitches when I was pitching a little bit. And that was like when I was younger. I used to pitch a lot more. I like to experiment with different things. I wasn't the fastest pitcher. It's why I never really went far. My top speed I ever hit when I was pitching with the speedometer was about a 73, 74 on radar. And I never got faster than that. And, you know, if you haven't pitched in years, your speed's going to be down. So I'm down probably to below 70 at this point. I'm probably around like a 67, 66 as top speed. But here's what I would mean, because I didn't have the range of motion, the training to really do that, and the years of conditioning to be able to throw those kind of pitches the way that these guys do. This is just, I used to just focus on the grips, proper motion, find different ways to speed up the ball, and that's it. But this is where we're at. So this is my pitch. One of my favorite pitches here is a split. They call it a fork ball sometimes, but this is how I throw it. When you throw the motion and I come back, right? So let me see. This is one of the breaking balls I used to throw. When you come back and you come to deliver forward, right? I'm going to see if I can get a better view of this. I got to move my chair out of the way. I'll show you guys better. So this is the grip, right? The grip is across the seams like this. This is how I would grip it. When you're coming up like this, it used to be very easy. It would just be come up, leg up, back, and I would deliver however I needed to deliver. And, your whole body would go into it, whatever it was. I'm trying not to lean into my bookcase and slam my head into everything, so I'm trying my best not to hurt myself doing this. But the motion on the ball when you release it, for me, when I would flick it down, is as you go and you wind through, it's a flick. So coming down, it's going to roll like this. And as it rolls, you got to be able to read the seams. But the way it rolls, it would just sink. It would just sink the way it was. It looked like a fastball sometimes, depending on how I threw it, because my fastball was right here. And when I threw that one, and I came back and I released it, I would release it on an angle to change the look of it. So it would come out like this. And it would spin like that too. Coming through. Same exact way. So it would throw it off a little bit. They couldn't really tell the difference. Because this looks like my fastball, but it doesn't go as fast as my fastball. So it was a little different. But your breaking ball movement, this is going to sink for me. Now, let's say I threw my curveball right here, right? This is my curveball. Right here. There you go, curveball. When I come through and I release it and I flick down, right? It's going to spin like this around the anchor point and drop down. I can't manipulate the movement to reverse the direction. That's what I'm trying to say. As the first pitch to Schwarber is going to be a ball. It's a 1-0 count here in the top of the fourth. Nelson's still in the game. The pitch itself is going to be like a corkscrew, the way mine came out. Like it spun like this, really fine, like almost like a dot. Like you would see like the middle point here and everything rotating around the middle point. That's how it would look. As that next pitch is a strike, it's a 1-1 count now to Schwarber. Next pitch from Nelson is going to be low and outside. It counts 2-1. So essentially, the ball is always going to break like this. So for me, it was always coming out, going, and as it would reach about halfway to the plate, it'd start breaking down and low to the inside corner. So inside corner in this case is like the way you're looking at me right now. Like imagine you're watching me on the television, right? The way you'd see it. This is your zone. So seeing it on the zone, it would start here on this side, right here, when you watched it release, and it would break down and be down to right here. So at the bottom of the zone down here. So like if my elbow is the bottom of the zone, it break down to here after starting out right here. And it had a good break like that to curve in. As we have a 2-2, if you have a full count, it looks like to Schwarber, and he's going to foul that to the right side. 3-2 count still for Schwarber. So that was how that pitch would work. I can't manipulate the pitch to break into the other direction. You know, that's not something you could realistically do. You have to change up your grip and your style. It'd be so different. It would take a lot of training in order to pull that off. So for young guys, what a lot of it is you release back here, you come up. Again, it breaks the same way, like a corkscrew or like a screwball almost. Just goes straight down, breaks low, across the plate. That's how it would look for me. And, you know, in the end, you can't make it go the opposite way like this. I release it here, it's going to go like this. I can't release it here and expect it to go like that. You know, like right here and make it go like that. As Schwarber just went yard. Schwarber got a hold of that one. He just sent it to deep center. It's a solo shot for Kyle Schwarber. And the Phillies are back in the game. 2-1. Kyle Nelson let that one get away from him. And it's 115 off the bat, going 409. 409. Just like that, the Phillies needed an answer, and they got their answer. I think it was just a rough pitch from Nelson. You got to understand, if you give him an inch, he's going to take a yard. It is how Kyle Schwarber works. That is a home run 7 days of the week. That's a run on 2 hits, and it looks like Nelson is now coming out of the game. You watched what happened. It looked like he was trying to throw a breaking ball there, and it didn't break the way he wanted it to. On that home, no, now that's weird. Now that's weird. I just looked at what it was. The call, I'm going to read it out to you. He threw a 4-seam, and it was bad placement. That's what it came down to. It was bad placement. So again, 4-seam right here, right? I got the line right here so you guys can see it on the training ball right here. This, again, rolling a fastball, depending on your angle, the way it came out is like it came like this. And when it comes like this, it's easy to pinpoint it. It's like hitting a dart. Like throwing a dart at a bullseye, this is the dart. I mean, this is the bullseye, and your bat is the dart. You can see it, easy. The practice drills used to do with the tiny wiffle balls making contact. If they threw it like that to you, where it came out here and you had to finish it here, that's easy. Easy money all day. That's a dead center homer. He threw it literally down the middle. A 4-seam, 92-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle. If you're throwing 98, yeah, you might be able to get him that way. But you're throwing 92. For a major league batter with as much experience as Schwarber, he knows what's coming. He can read a 92 and take it yard. And that's what he did. Right here, or I should say right here, coming through, right there. Easy read, coming through, bam, right there, contact, gone. And that's what happened. Just a bad pitch selection. He threw it in a bad spot. Goes yard. Again, that one was more like right center, but it was still center regardless. It was a beautiful homer, too. They're calling it a line drive to right center field. Listen, it came out like a line drive, I will say. 115 off the bat's insane. Insane speed. But it's 2-1 now, ball game. Phillies aren't out of it yet. A lot of ball game left to play still. But they made a pitching change. Coming into the game, it looks like for Nelson will be Miguel Castro. So Miguel Castro is going to have to relieve Nelson and take care of the Phillies. Again, when you do a bullpen game, you're going to run these risks, and that does happen. They're showing it again. Schwarber saw it. He pimped that thing, took his time coming around the base, yelling into his dugout like we run this. This is it. We these guys. It ain't over yet, and it's great. That home run has put him atop the list for the most postseason home runs by left-handed hitters. He passes Reggie Jackson. He passed Reggie Jackson. Oh my gosh. Schwarber, the home run machine he is. As it looks like this one's going a deep left center at the warning track. Gurriel makes the play right at the wall. This is the second time, though, Gurriel's robbed another homer. Even though technically this wouldn't have been a homer, but it was really close to the wall, maybe a couple feet off. But regardless, it's a big play made. That's now 1 out for Arizona here in the top of the fourth. They really needed that, and they got it. Turner gets a quick out. So Castro in the postseason so far through just over 2 innings pitched. 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. He's not been very efficient. It's going to come down to understanding who you're facing. And in this case, you better know who you're facing because Bryce Harper's up to the plate. First appearance up, he grounded out, but in this postseason, he's batting near 350 with 4 homers and 7 RBIs. You want to talk about terrified? I'd be absolutely shaking in nerves if I was facing him. As the first pitch is just outside, Harper fouls it off to the left. So count's going to be no balls, 1 strike. Could you imagine coming into relief and you're in a 1-run game and the guy you're facing that stands in your way of getting out of the jam is Bryce Harper? One of the best postseason hitters in MLB's history. It's rough. It ain't easy. You guys can argue it all you want, but you know what? I really do think he's one of the best postseason hitters in the history of the game. He really is one of the best. 1-1 count. The pitch is outside. It's going to be 2-1 now to Harper. That's back-to-back balls off the plate. 2-1 count, 1 out. Nobody on. Castro gets the pitch. Here's the throw. Fouled off by Harper again, just off the plate for strike 2. I do want to laugh about something, though. I'll bring it up in a sec. I talked about it on the Brian Mansell show earlier today. It was actually very interesting. We talked about on the morning show about the arguments I've been seeing about umping lately. As his next pitch is fouled off again by Harper to left. Another foul ball. When we go into commercial break, I'll explain a little bit better. But essentially, it's about the dumb argument of arguing balls and strikes that are close to the zone. I'll explain why. Next pitch from Castro gets him swinging on a little changeup outside bottom corner. And that's a strikeout for Miguel Castro. He gets him down swinging. I'm telling you, if it was me in the moment, I probably would have told the manager to take me out because I couldn't handle that. I would not be able to handle facing Bryce Harper in that moment, knowing how clutch he can be. But he ain't out of the woods yet because I believe he's now facing Alec Boehm at the plate. And it is. And this one is right down the middle, but it's fielded by the second baseman Marte, who gets it over to Walker for the final out. But the damage has been done. Kyle Schwarber, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. He sent this one really deep, sharp line drive to right center to make it a 1-run game. 2-1 here going to the bottom of the 4th. And now we'll talk about it. So, I had an argument today that I've been seeing a lot of, and this has been the argument I've seen. I have to put this in the best way possible. And this might be a stupid way to think about it, but this is how I think about it when it comes to arguing balls and strikes. And I know I keep getting up, but I have to show this, okay? So I don't have a bat on me at the moment. One of my baseball bats, they're downstairs. So I can't really access it at the moment. But I'm going to show you guys something. So we talked about the importance of zones, right? Zones are very important. So let me try to tilt my camera up or find a way to get my camera back a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. I'm going to do this, all right? Sorry if you see my finger. There we go. So, you guys see me? You see this? This is what I use for conditioning to get my leg and my hamstring loosened up if I ever have tension, which I have had before because I had a little bit of leg issues when I was playing. So, you're back here, right? You're coming in. You're going to swing. You have a lot of control of where the bat goes, right? You can come up mid. You can come up high. You can come up low. You can control the angle of your bat in any way possible. You really do have that luxury. You can do that. You know, you don't have to keep your shoulders like this. There is a possibility you can come through and do that as well. And then you could send it. I've seen it before. That's how I used to hit. I used to get a lot of productive hits. Not power hits, but I got a lot of productive hits. So, in that swing, right? Move the mic. So, in those swings, right? You come through. You're back here and you come in and you can control wherever it goes. High, mid, low, wherever it goes. You have that control. If you've got, let's say your zone, right? Your zone's here. And it's down to here, right about your knees. Here to here. Now, if it's here, right? And it's in the middle of the plate, like right about here, you contact that thing, it's going out, clearly. But you've got one off the plate here just outside the zone. When you come up to the plate, are you going to sit there and freeze up on the pitch because you think it's going to be a ball? If it's that close? Like, let's say the zone is right here and the ball's right here just in front of it. Are you going to sit there and hold off the pitch because you think it might be a ball and you're going to take that risk? No, absolutely not. An aggressive hitter would drop back and take it, regardless. He would take it and go. You're coming through, you're gone. Now, again, I'm trying to cut back on my swing because coming through, I'm making contact up here. So, right here, you're making contact, and you're sending it if you're reaching. As the first pitch from Hoffman is a strike. Bottom of the fourth, by the way. We're in the bottom of the fourth officially. So when you're coming through and you swing, at the plate is Lourdes Gurriel as well. First out to the plate, he grounded out. When you come up and you go to swing, you're trying to make as much contact as you can. As the next pitch is low in the zone corner, counts now 0-2. He's looking there on that one. And here. So if the pitch is out here and they're arguing balls and strikes and you're arguing it back and forth because you thought it was a ball, it won't matter because you should have swung regardless. That's essentially the point. You should swing and make the contact because your bat is long enough to reach it. So you could still come through in the top of the zone, come through, and you're gone. Come through, gone. You're still sending it deep. You got control of it. You have control of the direction it goes no matter what. If it's low, I get it. It's hard to reach down there, but you know what? You still have the bat length to reach that. So you come through, you know it's coming low, boom, contact made. I get it if it's the bottom corner, but if it's up high, I'm going to argue with you all day. And I will argue it differently if it's like youth level, like I was saying earlier. As this one is fouled up, is actually shot up, popped up to shallow right, and the play is made by Castellanos for the first out in the bottom of the fourth. Hoffman at 17 pitches now. Like I was saying, regardless of what I'm saying here, the important thing to take away from this is the pitches matter. They do matter. You know, if it's not a good pitch, you have every right to complain and be mad about it. You know, I totally understand it. But understand, I don't care if your zone is here and the pitch is here. I mean, here, right? It's outside the zone, regardless. Your bat, regardless, can still hit right here. It still has the reach to hit the outside of the barrel. I mean, the far side of the barrel. And take it. And once you make that contact and you swing it, you can easily send that past the shortstop and into left. Not a problem. Depending on where you are. It could be the left, it could be the right, depending on what kind of hitter you are. That's what I mean. We got an 0-2 count now to Evan Longoria with one out. Let me just make sure I'm updated here. But that's what I mean. You know, I'm coming back here and I'm looking at it, and that's what I'm seeing a lot of. A lot of arguments about where it is. Now, I get it if it's a zone here and your pitch is like out here. You can't reach that. And that's called a strike, then I'm pissed off. If it's right here, dude, you could hit that. You don't hold up on those pitches. The next pitch is just slightly off the plate, low. Counts now 1-2. They're calling it a ball. One ball, 2 strikes. And that's my argument I'm trying to make. If it's close, you can hit it. If it's far out and you can't hit it and they call it a strike, you have every right to fight and get ejected. This one is sent foul down the left line by Longoria. Count still 1-2. Now, they've already confirmed that for Game 5, since there is a confirmed Game 5, the Game 5 probable starters tomorrow will be Zach Wheeler and Zach Gallen. They're going to go at it again in Game number 5 in Arizona. Can they make magic happen? We will see. It's the next pitch. Swung on by Longoria is missed. He strikes out swinging for the second out of the bottom of the 4th. So 2 outs now. Up to the plate, coming for the Diamondbacks, is Emmanuel Rivera, who registered the RBI single back in the 2nd inning. I'm correct, yeah, 2nd inning. Yeah, I think 2nd inning. I'm pretty sure it's 2nd. Nope. Yep, 2nd inning. He's the one opening up the scoring back in the 2nd inning. The first pitch from Hoffman is a strike. Counts now, no balls, 1 strike. And yeah, I'm right. It was the 2nd inning. Hoffman, the pitch. Low and bouncing off the plate, but he swung anyway. Rivera fooled on that one. Good 0-2. Great breaking ball from Hoffman that time. It really bounced the plate, and it came out looking like it was going to hit the zone. He was thinking fastball, ended up being a sharp slider down. Here's prep for it. And as I was saying, that's what I mean by seeing the argument about strikes and balls. It's stupid if it's close. If it's close, don't argue it. You should have swung. If it's off the plate, well, yeah, argue it like it's your life depends on it. If it's close, you shouldn't argue it. As the next pitch from Hoffman is on the way, and it's high upstairs, and he gets him swinging. Beautiful 4-seam movement, too. We reach the end of the 4th, and the Diamondbacks go down in order, 1-2-3. Great performance there from Hoffman. We're going to the 5th inning. Score's still 2-1. Well done by these gentlemen today. And we can reset the outs and the strikes and the balls, and we're good. So once again, we are now 4 innings through, and I got to ask you guys, I mean, what are your thoughts now, seeing the Phillies starting to wake up with the bats a little bit? What's the thought process? You think they still got a chance to win this game now that they started getting the bats awake and the solo homer happened and that they're in full control? Do you really think that's where we're at this point now, that they could easily win this? Feel free to tell me in the comments. Feel free. In the chat. I'm actually curious to see. But let's take a quick look at ESPN and see some score updates. I don't know if you guys care about preseason basketball, but I'm going to go to NHL first. They're in the end of the 2nd now. The Jersey Devils and the New York Islanders are tied at 3 on NHL Network. You can also watch if you're in the New York market, New Jersey market on MSG. And Calgary and Columbus, the score is 2-1 in favor of Columbus with 2.5 left in the 3rd. That's on ESPN Plus for everyone nationally. But if you're looking to watch it and you're living in the Ohio area, you can watch on Bally Sports Ohio. And you should be able to watch it there. I don't know about if you live in Calgary or in Canada in general. I don't have the information up to that point. So I don't have any way to know that knowledge, but that's where we're at. So let me update the ticker with the information. Again, Columbus 2-1. The game's practically over at this point. They're in the 3rd. It's pretty much over. I mean, the way they've played today has not been great. Calgary's pretty much done for. Now they're in the 3rd officially with the Devils and Islanders. Keep an eye on that one. But in this game now, it's 2-1 Arizona in the top of the 5th. We're in the top of the 5th now. Again, Philly does lead this series. You guys didn't know. Philly leads this series 2-1. You can watch this one on TBS. If you're looking to watch the physical game, it is on TBS. You guys can tune into that channel at any time. And because it's something I know people care about, we're going to go look at the NBA real quick and see some score updates there. Some finals from today. The Sixers in preseason action have defeated the Atlanta Hawks 120-106. Orlando faced, it looks like, an overseas team. Let me take a look at this. It says they faced Flamengo today, and they won 109-76. That was the final score of the Orlando game. Let's see what else there is. Cleveland played Indiana. Indiana won 109-104. And currently in action, we have Washington-Toronto. The score of that one's 103-74. Just started the fourth quarter. Detroit-Dallas. The score is 78-61 with 5.5 to go in the third. Miami-Houston. Houston's up 66-58 with 9:24 in the third. And in Milwaukee and Memphis, it is 64-56 Memphis with 9:51 in the third. Sal Frank is warming up in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks as we have a 1-1 count from Castro. Delivered to Bryson Stott. Next pitch to Stott is grounded up to the second baseman who makes the play and gets the out at Walker. Marte with the big play. Marte to Walker, quick out. And in attendance to his Arizona game, shockingly, is Devin Booker. Surprisingly enough. A reminder, the NBA TNT begins October 24th. The season is just a few days away from beginning. When that happens, we'll be doing much more NBA content. Promise you that. So I'll probably start on Monday. We'll be working on some more NBA content to go along with this, since baseball is very close to over. But with one out, up to the plate now to bat is Castellanos. Not Castellanos. Correction. They didn't even say who it was. I'm trying to get the name figured out still. That is not good for me at all. My apologies again. At the plate now is JT Realmuto. I definitely got that mixed up. My apologies again. JT Realmuto. Counts 0-2 to Realmuto. First time up, he flew out. He's been very average in the postseason this year. As he gets a good hit down the left field line, it's going to be foul though. Count still 0-2 to Realmuto. And they have one out here in the top of the fifth. Castro's still in the game, but Sal Frank remains in the bullpen warming up. In the event, Castro starts to wane a little bit and give up some hits. On deck for them is a Mr. Nick Castellanos who could easily turn the game around at any moment. He has that ability. Realmuto on the next pitch. Sending this one to left center. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Gurriel making the play. And we got a man on first now. One out. Castellanos coming to the plate. A home run will give them the lead. A home run will give them the lead. And this tying run is on base. That's how I'm going to word it. I think that's how you word it. The tying run is on base, and the game and the lead is at the plate. I don't know how to word it. I'm trying to figure out how to word that. But inside pitch, severely inside, and Castellanos swung for some reason. 0 for 1. He had a strikeout his first time up. Let's see if that trend continues here. 0-1 count, man on first. Castro looking for a pitch. He wants to go middle here. He's going to hit the... I'm a little shocked on that one. That pitch was beautifully thrown. Hit the corner of the zone on the outside, but he's calling it a ball. No comment on that. The umps are the umps. You swing regardless. The pitch from Castro. Swung on and missed. He missed on a low pitch slider outside of the zone. I'm not even going to question Castellanos at this point. The count's 1-2. I'm not even going to question his decision making. And he's calling time. Yep, call time. Straighten your mindset out, because that was definitely a bad approach to the plate. No offense, but it was pretty bad. You don't go into it and not swing at a pitch that looked like it was over the plate and then swing at one that was well off the plate. That doesn't make sense. He also swung at one that was going to hit his chest if he didn't move, by the way. Just want to make that known. Castro throws inside, hit to Castro. He makes the play, little underhand toss to Walker, and they get the out. Runner advances to second, but they have two outs now. Runner in scoring position for the Phillies. So we reset the count, make it 2 outs, put a man on second, take off the guy on first. And that is where we're at. Again, you guys have the scoreboard up here on the top left of the screen so you guys can keep track of everything going on. And Lavello's coming out to pull Castro out of the game. Sal Frank is coming in for the D-backs. Once again, the score is 2-1 Arizona, man on second with 2 outs. And coming up to bat next for these Phillies will be Brandon Marsh. And Marsh has been very good in this postseason, batting a 3.33 at this point. After Marsh is Rojas, so they really want to try and get this out here and get it done. You get Marsh out, you got a decent start for your 6th inning when you have to pitch again. But Andrew Sal Frank, once again, is coming in to replace Miguel Castro. It's 2 outs, man on second in scoring position, and Brandon Marsh is on deck to bat. So, once again, I'm going to ask everybody, if you guys are here checking us out for the first time and you like what you're seeing, feel free to follow us on Twitch to help us grow the channel. We are 1 follower away, people, from hitting 15 on Twitch. We're doing everything we can to try to hit that follower goal and keep growing up here. Everything helps. So thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content there. If you're watching this on YouTube, we're going to be doing YouTube videos a lot sooner than you think. I'm thinking about doing some imperialism stuff with college football, with MLB. I found a simulator online that can actually sim the games. It's pretty cool. And I'm going to try to do a historic one first before I do anything else, but I do really like it, and I'm considering doing that as an imperialism thing because I don't really have the capabilities to do a college football revamped thing and do it that way. Because I want to include FCS teams, and you can't do that really with revamped. So my plan is to do FBS and FCS together which goes to about I think it's just about 250 teams, and just kind of do an imperialism thing county by county, separate them that way. And we'll do in-state battles first before we make a final map with one team representing each state. That's my plan. I want to do something like that. And if there are teams not in any states, we're just going to leave them blank. Problem solved. So that's what I'm thinking. Stuff like that. We'll do more sketch comedy, more comedy stuff for different things. That's the plan at the moment. We want to do more like that to help grow the channel even more. So again, anything helps. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please consider subscribing. Sal Frank is on the mound for the Diamondbacks. In this postseason, he's allowed 1 run, 1 hit, 3 walks, and a strikeout in just about 4 innings pitched. He's been very good so far this postseason. Nothing to complain about. He has been horrific as a reliever. But Marsh coming in is 0 for 1 today with a ground out. And in this postseason, he's got a 3.33 average with 1 homer. And so the first pitch comes in. That one's going to be outside and off the plate and high. 1-0 count. Count is now 1-0 to Mr. Brandon Marsh. Next pitch from Sal Frank is right down the middle. He should have swung at that one. The sinker gets him for the first strike of the at-bat. Count is now 1 ball to 1 strike. Sal Frank taking a watch at second, throws this one. Marsh hends this one to deep left. Are they going to make the play? No, it's going to be off the wall. Carroll fielding it off center. That's going to score Real Muto. And they got a tie game, people. They have tied the game off an RBI double by Brandon Marsh. JT Real Muto scores, and the Phillies have tied the game here in the top of the 5th. Oh my goodness. We've got ourselves a ball game, folks. 2 runs now for the Phillies, and Schwarber is on deck waiting to bat. Rojas has to come up first, though. If they can get Rojas out, they can get out of the jam. If they can't get Rojas out, Schwarber's coming up, and he's already did damage once by getting a solo homer a couple innings back. This is not good, folks. Not good. Let me update the scoreboard with the information. It is, I'm sure it's now 4 hits now for them. We'll confirm. But Rojas, 0 for 1 so far today. Struck out his first time up. Marsh is apparently coming back to... I couldn't tell if it was first or second at first. He's going back to second after taking some of his equipment off. But it's looking like a 0-1 count already to Johan Rojas. And the pitch is fouled off. Count is now 0-2. A lot of good performances so far. I can't complain about anything at this point. 2-4-1, 2-3-0, good. The count is at 0-2 to Rojas. 2 outs. Man on second. Good hit here could give you the lead. The pitch to Rojas is swung on and sent right to the third baseman, who catches the line out. Great play by Rivera, stopping that little laser. And that'll get the out of the top of the fifth, the final one. But not before the damage was done by Brandon Marsh hitting an RBI double that would score Real Muto and tie this game up for the Phillies. Looking to make this series 3-1 here. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. And let me tell you, folks, I am just as confused as you are. I didn't understand how... I'm not liking the bullpen decisions. I think that's what's hurting the Diamondbacks. They're putting the wrong guys in at the wrong times. They're pulling guys when they should be keeping them in. I mean, they could probably argue they want to use them longer, so they don't want to pitch them for too long. They want to have them available for the next games. But, I mean, if he's pitching well, and you're the guy you don't really trust to pitch for the distance, don't pitch well, it'd be better to keep the guy who is pitching well, make him pitch. You get what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't make sense. Very, 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 very dumb. I didn't like it. But, again, no, we can reset everything now. We're going to the bottom of the fifth. Calls need to be better. The calls need to be better regardless. That's the point. Lovello making these pulls so quickly and early are bothering me, and it shouldn't be that way. So, I'll give you guys an example about like the innings pitched so far for these D-backs guys. Mantiply only pitched 1 inning. Then he got pulled. Fries came in. Fries was actually doing really well. He had 2 Ks. He was in full control, had full authority early. They pulled him. They put in Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson gives up a home run. Got a strikeout, though. He gave up a home run. Didn't make it a full inning. Castro comes in, and he does good in the first inning. But here in his second inning he was pitching, he gave up another big hit and scored a run. So Sal Frank had to come in and relieve him and get the final out, and now you have an issue. It shouldn't have had to come to that point. So maybe the decision should have been keep Frias in longer, delay the other guys coming in, and then you're fine. That's how I saw it. Maybe the decision should have been pull Castro earlier, put Sal Frank in, or hear me out, make Frias pitch 2 innings or more. I was cool with that, but apparently he didn't want to do that. He wanted to have him available for tomorrow. So I guess that's where he stands. I don't agree with that decision. The way you substitute your pitchers is how you could lose this game. And that's his issue. He needs to be smarter about it, and I haven't liked the decision-making he's made up to this point. I have not liked it. It should have been better. It hasn't been better. And they might pay the price for it. But so far, the pitching now for the Phillies, Hoffman is not staying in the game as we see a very frustrated Sal Frank on the bench slamming his glove in frustration after allowing the game-tying run. But coming in now to pitch for the Phillies is Matt Strahm, and the first pitch is inside the zone, but the inside of it, you know what I mean, like inside of the batter, closest to him, and that's 0-1. 0-1 count, first strike. The next pitch is up high for a ball inside. 1-1 now. Matt Strahm coming in again to relieve Jeff Hoffman. Perdomo swings on this one. They're going to check the swing. They're checking first. He went around. The count is now 1-2. The count is now 1-2 to Perdomo. He definitely went too. Perdomo, at first they were saying he didn't go, but then you asked the first base, they checked him and they said he went. So the count is 1-2 to Perdomo. He's going to need some big plays here. The next pitch is on its way, and he swings at this one, sends it foul to the right. Count still 1-2. He's 0 for 1 tonight, by the way, with a quick pop out that he had earlier on. So it's the second time at the plate. He's had 2 homers in this postseason as well. The pitch is fouled off again to the right. 4-seamer. Count still 1-2. Count remains 1-2 for Perdomo. 5 seconds on the pitch clock. Strom winds up, sends it. Perdomo sending it into shallow right. He made the play. Castellanos makes a diving play in right to save the hit. And Perdomo goes down. Perdomo's out. Castellanos with an amazing sliding grab in right field. He got low. He slid in, made the play, protected the ball. And it's an out for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Their first of the bottom of the fifth. That looked like it didn't look like he was going to get that, honestly. It really didn't, but it hung up long enough for him to be able to make that play. Full credit to him. That was an incredible grab. Strom sends it in, and that is going to be a strike. Hits the inside of the box, and Ketel Marte is at the plate. Third time up at the plate today. He's 1 for 2 with a single earlier and a run scored. But it's an 0-1 count. As the pitch from Strom's on the way, and Marte is going to foul this one back. Counts 0-2. So again, 1 out here, counts 0-2. Strom at 8 pitches. Marte 1 for 2 today. The pitch is high and inside, almost hits Marte, and that is going to be the first ball of the at-bat. Count is 1-2. I know I sound very loud, so I'm trying my best to kind of tone it down just a little bit for you guys. Toning it down just a little bit. Strom with the next pitch is going to be high again in the zone. Count is 2-2 now. It's a 2-2 count. Strom looking for the next pitch. He's sending it, and it's fouled off by Marte again. This one back to the backstop. Again, count remains 2-2. Strom at 11 pitches now. On deck is Corbin Carroll for the D-backs. The pitch was inside. They went to check if he swung, and he did not go. It is a 3-2 count. He did not go. So it's a full count now for Ketel Marte. The pitch from Strom is swung on and fouled back again. Count remains full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He's been mixing it up a little bit, getting a little streaky here. Strom started with a cutter, then 3 fastballs, a sinker, and then 2 back-to-back sliders. Now I have a feeling he's going to go back to his cutter. I think the cutter would be the pitch to go with here if you're going to try to get Marte. That first pitch he wasn't ready for. Bring it up this time. He hasn't thrown it yet. Swings and fouls it up. It's going to be... Actually, no, he didn't foul it up. It's a pop-up towards foul territory. Play made by left fielder Brandon Marsh, and it's 2 outs now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are now at 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Reminder that the game is tied here at 2-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. And Strom has actually pitched very well for the most part in this inning. Nothing yet to complain about, but here comes Corbin Carroll. And we all know Corbin Carroll has the ability to just, make your life very hard in an instant. If you're an opposing fan, you are definitely not going to like what this guy could do. The first pitch is on its way, and it's in the dirt, scooped up by Real Muto. Counts 1-0. This is a guy you don't want to pitch to. It's very quick for him to take it yard, but 0 for 2 so far today with 2 groundouts. But as we all know, in baseball, it can change in an instant. Somebody could be an 0 for 5 day and his 6th at bat, he'll still hit a homer. It could happen at any moment to anybody. But the Phillies are getting a guy warmed up in the bullpen. It's Sir Anthony Dominguez, the righty, warming up to get ready to take over for Strom in the event things get out of hand here. And it looked like they were starting to get Orion Kirkring ready to go as well. He's not throwing yet, but they were getting him ready. So the count's now 2-0. Strom, next pitch coming in, is high and inside. The count is 3-0 now. And they're in dangerous territory to walk him. If that were to happen, Moreno would come up to the plate. Moreno already responsible for a big hit and RBI of his own today. The pitch to Carroll next is down the middle for a strike. Great sinker thrown there. But you know how it goes. If it's a 3-0 count, the coach's words to you is always to never swing. Don't ever swing on a 3-0 count. But the count is now 3-1. And the pitch to Carroll is swung on and sent right to Harper at first base, who's going to take it himself, get the out at the bag for the final out of the 5th inning. Well, you got no runs on no hits and no errors, as due up in the next top of the 6th here. Kyle Schwarber will be up, followed by Trey Turner and Bryce Harper, the heart of the lineup. Back to the top of the order. Once again, inning over, we're going to the top of the 6th. The score remains 2-2. Nothing for the D-backs this time around. So let's take another look back out at the sports world today and see what's going on ESPN here around the sports world. In the NBA, in terms of preseason action, another update here. The game between Washington and Toronto is about to end. Toronto's up 134-98. They will get away with the victory here in the preseason. 7:27 left in the fourth quarter between the Detroit Pistons and the Dallas Mavericks, 99-87 in favor of Dallas. The third quarter is about to end between Miami and Houston with 20 seconds left. End of the third actually just now. Houston leading 81-71. And in the Memphis-Milwaukee game, Memphis still beating the Milwaukee Bucks 88-77, 2:48 to go in the third. We're also going to throw in here the NHL, which we had not spoken about in a bit. The game is over between Calgary and Columbus. The final score of that one, Calgary 1 goal to Columbus 3 goals. Columbus has 3. And on NHL Network and MSG, you can watch the Devils and the Islanders. The Devils have taken the lead 4-3 now with 5:51 left to go in the game. So keep an eye out for that one. That one could go to overtime the way they've been playing today. Just make sure we fully update that information. We are going to the top of the 6 scores, tied at 2 here in the Philly game. NHL, the game is over. 3-1 final for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And, yeah, the Columbus Blue Jackets win this one 3-1 over Calgary. They're off to a decent start, I have to say. 4-3 Devils lead right now in the third. NHL Network, MSG, you guys can watch on either one of those. It works just fine. So, anybody have any questions about baseball or anything you guys want to see about sports or the channel or any content we're working on at the moment? I'm all ears whenever you guys are ready. I'm always open to questions. You guys feel free to ask them in the chat. We always have something open. We always do. And supposedly we did hit our follower goal of 15 about an hour ago, but I don't think my counter updated to hit 15. My guess is that somebody else unfollowed, which is perfectly fine. Again, these things happen. But it still means we need one more follow to hit the follower goal. So if you guys are watching for the first time on Twitch, please consider giving us a follow. It goes a long way in helping the channel grow. Thank you guys so much. As the first pitch to Schwarber is a ball from Sal Frank. They did not pull him, shockingly. Now, Schwarber currently has the most home runs in NLCS history in their career, tied with Albert Pujols at 10. One more would put him over the top as the sole leader. As the next pitch is low, count is now 2-0 to Kyle Schwarber. Sal Frank with the pitch delivers in the zone for a strike, finally. In this at bat, 2 balls, 1 strike. Hits the low center of the zone. Freezes up Schwarber. He wasn't going to swing. Might as well throw it right there. This time he's definitely going to swing though. And he was about to, and it was an inside pitch, just missing the corner. Count is now 3-1 in favor of Philly. Schwarber in this NLCS has been amazing. 4 homers and 12 at-bats. Completely unprecedented progress he's making here. This next pitch is inside again, and that will be a walk. To Kyle Schwarber, we have a runner on first still with no outs, folks. It's starting again. I would consider going to the bullpen about 3 seconds. And it looks like they're not going to go to the bullpen, but they're bringing in the pitching coach to talk to Sal Frank to kind of get him straightened out and calm down. They just gave him his glasses, which I don't think he was wearing earlier. I don't think he was wearing his glasses earlier when he was pitching. I'm being so serious, by the way. I'm being so serious. I don't think he was pitching in the 5th inning with glasses. I think the 6th inning he put them on. That's not a joke. But in the bullpen, they are warming up somebody regardless. It is Thompson. Thompson is warming up, getting ready to come in, the righty for the Diamondbacks. If Sal Frank lets this one get out of hand again, they're going to have to turn back to the bullpen. And I don't blame him. At this point, I'd definitely be considering it myself. Sal Frank is now facing the one guy you don't want to face in the lineup. He's facing Trey Turner. Trey Turner's been electric in this postseason. 1 for 2 today with the single. His average is nearly 500 in this postseason. The pitch is on its way. He swings and misses on a low inside ball. Counts now 0-1 to Trey Turner. All you need in this game is to just continue to get the outs. Do not let them score. It doesn't matter about the hits. Just keep them from scoring. As the next pitch is high in the zone, that's a count. That's a ball. They're ruling it a ball. It's just above the zone. Count is now 1-1 strike. No outs. Harper on deck. Like I said earlier, the one man you never want to face in a clutch situation is Bryce Harper. As the next pitch is beautifully thrown curveball by Sal Frank that gets Turner to bite. And the count is now 1-2. Beautiful curveball thrown there. It started out here. Imagine I'm a lefty here. Start out here and cut across the zone and drop down low like that. And he swung and took it. As he swings on another curveball, this time it didn't have as much break. Turner gets a hold of it, but he sends it foul. Very lucky that time. Like I said, his came out here, and it ends right down there in the low part of the zone. Beautifully done. Beautifully executed. That's how you want it every time. The only thing you change is where you want. Do you want low middle? Do you want low inside? How do you want to go? But what they're talking about right now on the TBS is about Brandon Thad pitching really well yesterday. As his next pitch from Sal Frank, a sinker, sinks a little too low that time and misses the zone. Counts now 2-2. They're talking about how dominant he was yesterday and how good he's been in this postseason despite struggling earlier this year, which I had spoken about earlier today. As Turner swings on this one and sends it foul as well down towards the home team dugout. Once again, man on first, being Schwarber. Sal Frank at 17 pitches. They're hoping to get Turner out here. The count is 2-2. Can he get the out? The pitch is in the dirt. And Moreno's looking for the ball. He lost it for a sec. He was able to grab it up. And Schwarber did not advance. And they're giving Schwarber second base. He couldn't find the ball. He finally found it. And they said, Schwarber, you could take second. It took you too long. And here comes Lovello. Probably about to argue this one. It came up underneath Gabriel Moreno's catcher equipment and got stuck. He didn't see the ball. And when that happened, that's going to count as a stolen base. It's a pass ball regardless. He couldn't find it. So Lovello's arguing about why it's considered a pass ball and why they're giving him second. He doesn't like the call. The count is 3-2 regardless, but this will put a man on second. And knowing how baseball umping goes, this will be... this probably won't change the call in any type of means whatsoever. He noticed the ball was under his catcher's equipment after the fact. And that's when they realized, okay, give him second because it took him too long to find the ball, so he would have made it in time by then. So Lovello argues his case, doesn't win the case. He doesn't get ejected. He didn't come in aggressive. So they got a runner in scoring position with a full count. No outs. So what will Sal Frank do? Got to get Turner here if you want a relative chance. Swings and misses the zone. He threw it and missed it low and outside. And we got a runner on first and second. No outs still for the D-backs. The pitching is imploding. The bullpen is imploding. Bryce Harper's coming to the plate with no outs. Respectfully speaking, the Phillies are about to take the lead. Respectfully speaking, they're going to take the lead. I don't care what you tell me, they're taking the lead in this inning. It's happening. They're not getting out of this. 19 pitches now for Andrew Safrank. And Harper, like I said, the strongest clutch gene in baseball. You're about to see it firsthand right now. Pitcher delivers. In the dirt. That one's for ball one. He very well may walk him. I'm not joking. He very well may walk him. They got a man warming up in the bullpen for the D-backs. Getting ready. I believe it's still Thompson warming up. The pitcher himself, Frank, is outside the zone again. 2-0. Pitch is just outside, misses the box. So it is now a 2-0 count with no outs. To me, you could argue it's a strike, but it's a ball. It's a ball. It's close. I'll give you that. It is close. And now they're having a mound visit here. Sal Frank talking over with Moreno. And they got to find a way to settle this man down. He's got a man on first and second. 2-0 count to Bryce Harper. This is just not your ideal scenario if you're a Diamondbacks fan. And a quick point out, I'm not a Diamondbacks fan. I'm just wearing this because it's the game. But if you're a Diamondbacks fan, you definitely don't want this. You probably have been screaming at your TV to pull him at this point. And Lovello hasn't made the best decisions going into his bullpen to pitch a bullpen game. But nonetheless, Sal Frank delivers to Harper, and he misses the zone again, low and outside. It's a 3-0 count. I'm telling you they're scoring in this inning. I am insisting it. I am telling you. I am pushing you and telling you about they may either load the bases or Harper's bringing a run in. It's going to be one or the other. He will not get out. The pitch from Sal Frank is on the way. This one's a strike. This one was a strike. He threw it down low. You could argue it wasn't a strike, but it is a strike. 3-1 is the count. That one came in flying hot. Beautiful sinker. The pitch from Sal Frank is swung on and fouled to the right by Harper. He finally swung and fouled it. It's a strike. 3-2 count now for the Phillies and Bryce Harper. If he doesn't get this, it could be the first out of the inning. It very well could be the first out. The pitch from Sal Frank is going to be low and inside, and they've loaded the bases. They've loaded the bases, people. The bases are loaded for the Phillies with no outs. Sal Frank has done it, and Lovello has to come out and pull Sal Frank after 3 consecutive walks. 3 consecutive walks. Oh my goodness. If that's not an implosion, I don't know what is. Another walk for Sal Frank, and they're going to the bullpen. They're bringing in Thompson. Ryan Thompson is going to have to save this inning somehow. If he doesn't do it, the D-backs may be losing this one, people. They may lose this game. But they're going to the bullpen, bases loaded. No hits were even recorded yet in this inning, and there's still no outs. This is what you call, people, a royal obliteration that's about to happen. Because the next person up is Alec Bohm. And Bohm has been due for some big hits. And I would not be surprised if this is it. He gets a bases clearing double. And that puts him well ahead. I could totally picture it. A bases clearing double that puts him 3 runs ahead. The score would be 5-2. I just see it. I know it. I know it's coming. What I'm trying to understand is his pitch location was terrible. That's what was killing him. His location was terrible. I mean, you're watching pitches that he's throwing that are like, they start out they keep coming inside. No matter where the guy is standing and hitting, it's always inside. Now, I get why pitchers like to tend to throw inside. I'm one of those guys who likes to do that. But here's the thing. I'm not trying to pitch inside to get a ball. I'm trying to pitch inside to hit the zone. That's my intention. So when I'm coming across, and I'll come back and I'm corking, I'm recoiling, and I'm throwing my curve, right? I want it to break hard enough there. If I really wanted to hit the inside of him, and he's a righty, I'm going to throw it and release it by where his back would be. If I threw a fastball from where I would release it for a curveball, it would hit him in the back. But because it's a curveball, it would go from where his back would be and finish right down on his knees, right, probably hitting that corner. That's typically how I like to throw my curve, and that's how you can usually tell, is by the release point of every time it's thrown. So for him, his inside pitches were way too inside. He was struggling with it. He was doing it with his slider, so he was delivering it, and it was cutting in like this, and it was too close. It was too close in, and he just wasn't getting good pitches. And they kept sinking. His sinker was either way too high in the zone, like up here, or it was too low and near the dirt where they had to make saves. But Ryan Thompson's in regardless. 3.82 ERA this year. In the postseason, he's got 6 innings pitched with 2 earned runs on 6 hits and a walk. But Bohm is coming to the plate with no outs. Phillies still tied with the D-backs here 2-2. In a bases-loaded situation, I would not want to be anybody else but Alec Bohm. You are in a perfect situation to capitalize on this and make your first big impact of the postseason right here. Outside of your defense, your offense has not been phenomenal, and this is your time to show what you can do in a real clutch scoring scenario. So Thompson, side armor, swings to the first pitch, and he gets it out to the first baseman, at third baseman, and he loses the ball. He threw it to Moreno at home. Moreno loses it. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. One guy's going for second. The play, he's out. They get Bohm out trying to reach on second, but regardless, it is 2 runs scored. Turner and Schwarber, the Phillies take the lead on a 2-run double, except Bohm did get tagged out at second. But still, it is a 2-run swing in favor of the Phillies, and the Phillies have the lead 4-2. As I expected, this is exactly what was going to happen. They now have a man on third, 1 out. The run, it's now 4-2 game. I don't think that would register as a hit, technically, because he did get out. He was tagged out. So, 1 out now. But unbelievable. It was hit really well. The play was made at third, and he throws it to Moreno, and Moreno couldn't reel it in, and it scores Turner at that point after Schwarber. Harper advanced to third, and Bohm tried to stretch it out and go for second, and Moreno's been very good at getting guys out at second this year and preventing steals. Bohm was, unfortunately, now just a victim of that. But they've scored it a hit. It's 4-5 now with the Phillies. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error committed. And they're now up on Arizona by 2 runs. 1 out. This is not what we needed today. Bryson Stott, 0 for 2. Strikeout and a ground out in both of his appearances today. The pitch is well out off the plate. That's going to be a ball. Count is 1-0. Now, Thompson is a sidearm guy, but I did find it very interesting that one of his first pitches to Bohm, releasing with that sidearm, he just said, "Oh, that's my pitch," and just took it. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, it's 2-0 count. The next pitch is off the plate. It's 3-0 now. The pitching is imploding for the D-backs. The bullpen is failing on all fronts. Thompson just gave up the 2-run. The 2-run should have been double, and is now 1 pitch away from walking. Bryson Stott. And he just walked him. That pitch was outside again. Bryson Stott taking his base, a 4-pitch walk. So now you have a man. Now you have runners in the corners, 1 out still. And once again, we're in the same situation. First and third, 1 out, and it's looking like there's going to be another run scored at some point. D-backs are completely imploding on every level in the bullpen. This was not what you needed today, and it's happening. And I say it again, it comes down to the selections that they made and when they pulled their guys. So the Phillies have now scored 4 unanswered runs at this point, and this swing is going to be fouled off. Realmuto is the one in the box here. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a run scored. Postseason, he's been pretty solid all the way around. 0-1 count. Again, runners in the corners. Harper on third. Stott on first. 1 out. 7th pitch from Thompson so far. About to come in to JT Realmuto, the catcher for the Phillies. The pitch is on the way in well inside. He really didn't flinch much. And it's an easy steal for Bryson Stott. He's advancing right to second with no hesitation. So they got 2 runners in scoring position. Lovello is pissed right now. You could tell he's frustrated. These guys came in ready to pitch, and then they were imploding right here, right in front of their very eyes. The next pitch from Thompson, swung on and fouled off by Realmuto. It's going to be a 1-2 count. I don't know what's going on, but these Phillies are getting really creative right now. I think the substitutions is what's going to come back to bite the D-backs here. It really should not have been these decisions. The decisions he's been making all day have been absolutely horrific. And this 1-2 pitch is going to be missing high and outside. Another bad pitch from Thompson. And the count is now at 2-2. Got away from him. The next pitch is swung on outside, and he swings and misses. There's the strikeout you're looking for. Possibly a little too late, but it is a strikeout, and it's 2 outs now for the D-backs. They got their outs that they needed. They're 1 more away from getting out of this with as minimal damage as they could have possibly had. So a good pitch by Thompson on what looked like a sweeper, but definitely wasn't a sweeper. That pitch that he struck out on was a slider. But now up to bat is Castellanos, and Castellanos, we all know, is famous for his big moments. And this first pitch is a strike outside of the plate. Count is 0-1. 0 for 2 today with the strikeout and groundout is Nick Castellanos. But he's been good all postseason. The next pitch from Thompson is in the zone. He swings and misses on this one too. The count is now 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, and Castellanos, visibly frustrated. He really wants a hit today, despite the fact the Phillies are having some good action overall. And with a win here tonight, the Phillies will take a 3-1 lead going into Game 5 tomorrow here at Chase Field. Bryson Harper threatening. The swing from Castellanos is fouled off to the left. Count remains 0-2. Thompson at 13 pitches now. I am not liking what I'm seeing right now from these Diamondbacks. I'm not liking it. He's showing steal, but we know Harper won't steal home. The pitch is grounded up to second. The play made by Marte thrown across to Walker, and they get him out. Castellanos now becomes the 3rd out here, but not before the Phillies take the lead here with some hits of their own. And they now lead in this game 4-2 going into the bottom of the 6th. I cannot believe this. And a reminder, the 2023 NLCS is brought to you by Loan Depot. That's what they just said on TBS, so just a quick reminder there. Not a sponsor of this stream. Even though, you saw it on the other graphic over here. It's really not a sponsor. It's a sponsor of the actual series. Bottom of the 6th we're going to. Phillies are leading 4-2 now. It's going to get very interesting. 4-5-1, 2-3-0. Okay, I'm just making sure all the stats are in order. But speaking of stats, let's check out what's going on again in the NHL. Quick update. They went to overtime. The Devils did end up winning and beating the Islanders in overtime 5-4. A quick win there and done. They get it done. Devils are able to squeak out a win over the Islanders, who gave a lot of good fight in this one, but they do end up losing it final in overtime. And you were able to watch that one on NHL Network and MSG. That is the final results of this one. And in terms of everything else, we're still watching the Philly and Arizona game. Philly now up 4-2 on Arizona, going into the bottom of the 6th. If you guys want to watch that one, it is on TBS. If you want to watch the physical broadcast, if you're here to stick around and hear the play-by-play, that is why I'm here. So thank you for choosing us today if you are watching. I very much appreciate it. As we wait to come back from the commercial break, which is showing Killers of the Flower Moon, which I do think will be an incredible movie. It's a Scorsese film. It will be incredible. It always is. I do have to ask. I'm curious about some things that happened. I'm reading through some things here and I'm thinking. I'm very much thinking at the moment, trying to figure some things out here. Let's see if there's any news we can get updated on as I'm going through my phone trying to get some quick updates here. Let's see. Well, I will give Sal Frank some credit. Sal Frank is a rookie. He is a reliever. So, him really struggling makes sense. A rookie is going to have a hard time usually. Like Johan Rojas is a rookie, and he's struggling with the Phillies. He's just making really good defensive plays. That's why he stayed in the lineup for so long. So that has to be addressed and talked about. In terms of everything else up to this point in news, I have nothing else unless you guys want to hear about wrestling, and I don't think we want to do that. I don't think there's a lot of wrestling fans in here. I think we're mostly baseball fans and other sports fans. So that's what I'll say. That's what I'll say. And the first pitch is on the way, and it is going to be a strike from Dominguez, who is now in for Strome. So Anthony Dominguez so far to this point, 3.1 innings pitched this postseason, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. As next pitch to Moreno is a 1-1 count now. That was a ball that was up in the zone. 1-1 count, bottom of the 6th, nobody out. The pitch from Dominguez is just off the plate outside, 2-1. Moreno today, 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Postseason, he's been a decent hitter for the most part, 241 average. Hoping to continue that trend and keep rising that average up as the next pitch from Dominguez is on the way and swung on and missed by Moreno. That was a home run pitch if I'd ever seen one, and he did not get it. He was too low underneath the ball. It's a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs, by the way. No outs. Just nothing but donuts. The pitch from Dominguez is on the way, and this one is fouled off to the right. Count remains 2-2. I'm interested in this. I think they're doing... Somehow Phillies bullpen has really picked it up since that 3rd or 4th inning when they allowed the second run to Arizona. They've really locked in and done a good job. As next pitch from Dominguez is in, this one off the corner of the plate and low. Fastball is going to miss, so it's a 3-2 count, full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes on deck. Looks to be Evan Longoria. Christian Walker, correction, as the pitch is on the way and low out of the zone. And they walked him. Moreno's going to first. Dominguez walks Moreno. We have a man on first with nobody out for Christian Walker. And those who don't know Christian Walker, that man is a power bat. He is a power bat. If Walker gets a hold of this one, it is leaving the yard. And it will be a tie ball game. So the game tying run is at the plate. Here's the pitch to Walker. He swings and misses on this one. Great fastball throw from Dominguez. Counts now 0-1. 1 ball to 1 strike. Up to this point, the Phillies have been very, very good ever since they let the couple runs go earlier in the match. As this one is fouled off to the right, 0-2 now for Christian Walker and the D-backs. Once again, a very similar situation where Moreno was at, but Moreno was able to work into a walk. Let's see if Walker can do the same. He is still 0 for 2 today. One of his hits actually resulting in an error. The pitch from Dominguez, he swings and misses. Walker misses on that one. Great throw by Dominguez off the plate. And it's a strikeout for the Phillies. The first out of the bottom of the 6th. And that is going to bring up Pavin Smith pinch hitting for Tommy Pham. So Pavin Smith's going to replace Tommy Pham here. And I get it. I think I get it. Just because Pham hasn't been a very productive hitter in this series. It makes sense to put somebody in who's been okay, like Smith, just to pinch it, whatever. He might have another at-bat later on, depending on how the D-backs do. But the next pitch is a strike to Pavin Smith, 0-1, right down the middle. He really should have swung at that and made a statement out of it. That would have been the pitch to take yard right there. So 0-1 count, run on first, 1 out. The swing is fouled off, and the ball is going off to left field. That's foul. Count is now 0-2 to Pavin Smith. And Dominguez, they're making a call to bullpen already. They haven't come out to take him out yet, but they're making the call to get a guy warmed up. Here's the pitch from Dominguez. This one's hit down to getting by the second baseman into right field. Stopping at second is going to be one of the Diamondbacks runners. I keep forgetting. Why do I keep forgetting the names here? The guy on second is Gabriel Moreno. Moreno advances to second. Pavin Smith gets to first. It's a single with 1 out. Runners on first and second now for the D-backs. How am I forgetting names? This is terrible. I can't be doing this. Oh, wait. Nope, that wasn't a Phillies hit. That was a Diamondbacks hit. Sorry about that, everybody. And now they're having a mound visit real quick between Turner and GT Romuto and Dominguez. Actually, they're bringing in the whole infield for this. Pavin Smith on first again. On second, you have Gabriel Moreno, the catcher. And in the bullpen, they're warming up Soto to pitch for the Phillies. I am not liking this situation whatsoever right now. If you're a Phillies fan, you got to be nervous because the lead-changing run is at the plate, which is Lourdes Gurriel. The game-tying run is on first. The go-ahead run, that's what I meant to say. The go-ahead run's at the plate, and at first is the game-tying run. Dominguez with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Well off the plate to Gurriel. That's going to be a 1-0. That's a ball all day. Unless you're Angel Hernandez. Now, let's think about this a second. Lourdes Gurriel 0 for 2 today with a ground out and a fly out. He hasn't been great overall in the postseason. He's batting .206. He's going to need a big hit here if he wants to help his team out. And this one's going to be low in the zone, and it's not a strike. It's another ball. It's a 2-0 count now to Lourdes Gurriel. Gurriel made an incredible grab actually earlier in the game. Saved them from having a home run go out. That was a hit, I believe, from Realmuto that almost left the yard, and he made a phenomenal play at the wall in the top of the second. But he swings on this one, and he's not going to get it. So he gets a strike swinging there. That's a strike. And 2 balls, 1 strike now in this count, 2-1. It's a little behind on it. I wouldn't have swung at that one. I'm not going to lie to you. I probably wouldn't have swung. It was borderline the zone. Borderline the zone. But it looked very freaky. I wouldn't have taken the pitch. I mean, I wouldn't have went for that pitch. So Dominguez winds up, fires, off the plate and low again. It's a 3-1 count now. 1 more ball away from loading the bases for Evan Longoria to have his playoff moment. If Longoria has his playoff moment, I don't know what I'm going to say or do. I don't know. 3-1 count. The pitch is on its way. Low in the zone, and it's a strike. You can argue it, but I could definitely tell the way he framed it was framed very well. That is a strike. I'm still saying I wouldn't call that a strike, but that's I like that call. But 3-2. And this one is on the corner. He strikes out looking. Gurriel had a chance. He had a chance. He should have taken the swing. He knows he should have swung at it. It hits the outside bottom corner purely and perfectly, and he didn't take it. He held up on it. He should have fired and swung. If he would have swung, he would have taken that thing and put it into right, 100%, and they would have had a guy coming home. They would have been within 1 run of the Phillies. Now Longoria is at the plate. He swings and misses on the first pitch low. Count is now 0-1 with 2 outs. Runner still on first and second. Longoria 0 for 1 today with a walk. Moreno showing steal. He doesn't steal, and the pitch is low again in the zone. Count is 1-1. Same pitch as before. He didn't bite that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Five seconds on the pitch clock. It's on the way. Dominguez. Oh, Longoria hits this one deep, but it's going to be shallow. Too shallow. Into left. Marsh makes the play. 3 outs. No runs are going to score. 2 runs are going to get left. 2 people are going to get left stranded on base. And no runs in this inning allowed by Sir Anthony Dominguez. They get lucky. He gets lucky, I should say. But the Phillies still leading 4-2 going into the top of the 7th. So once again, Arizona falling up short there instead of capitalizing on having runners on base. They were unable to pull it off, and now they may have just paid the price for it. This time coming up, the lineup coming up into this top of the 7th will be Marsh, Rojas, and Schwarber. That will be it. 4-5-1-2-4-0, right? Yeah. No, 2-4-1. Arizona does have an error. Okay. All right. Well, all the stats have been updated on my end, so this way I'm good with the board. The board is fully updated to what it needs to be. This way there's no mistakes. Now, there was an interesting thing that just happened. In the NBA preseason games, Milwaukee, who was down earlier to Memphis big time, has now taken a 6-point lead on them with 2 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. 117-111. In a massive turnaround, and they started going absolutely ballistic on Memphis. They are in full control of that one right now as we speak. As for the other games that have played today, Houston did end up beating Miami 110-104. Dallas beating Detroit 114-104. And Toronto beating Washington 134-98. And on NBA TV right now, if you guys are interested in watching some preseason basketball, San Antonio and Golden State are playing. San Antonio up 26-19 with 4:35 left in the first. You guys can again watch that on NBA TV. I'm stunned at how poorly the Diamondbacks have played ever since those first couple of innings. The first 3 or 4 innings of the game, they looked very, very good and efficient. And now they're starting to come back to bite them. They start out the game with a 2-0 lead. They were doing really well. And now it's gotten to a point where they've had 4 unanswered. And they've had times to answer, and they just didn't. So now they're paying the price, and there's a good possibility that we could have Philly taking this game and have a 3-1 series lead going into tomorrow, where they could easily clinch in Arizona. And if you're a D-backs fan, you do not want that. So I'm telling you, you got to wake up. The offense has got to capitalize on these kind of moments, and they haven't been doing that. That's the thing. But again, everything started off with a Kyle Schwarber homer, where Brandon Marsh has been instrumental. There's the word. Instrumental in keeping the spirits up on the team. As Thompson's first pitch is in there for a strike. Marsh is the one at the plate now. Counts 0-1. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI double. He has been big in the success of the team. And Pavin Smith is now in the game for Tommy Pham. He's in right field. The pitch to Marsh is low, but he swings and misses on that one, thinking it was going to be a little bit higher. Counts now 0-2 for Marsh. And they got fans who look like Marsh on the TV. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Now, after this, when we go into the half inning, I'm going to go through a quick recap of what happened with the Rangers and Astros earlier today. Apparently, it was a brawl that happened in Arlington. And we'll go through the backstory on that. But this next pitch from Thompson gets Marsh out, and that is a strikeout. The first out of the inning for Arizona. Good work on their part. Great pitch from Thompson. Great sequence. So it is now 1 out here for the Phillies as Rojas comes up to the plate. And another call to bullpen has been made by Arizona. The pitch from Rojas. He hits this. He got it. It's inside the bag. It's a fair ball. Going down the right field line. He's going for second. He's going to go for 3. He's pushing for 3. The throw coming into third. He's going to be safe. The ball does not get into the third baseman's glove. And Rojas has himself a triple. What an amazing hit. After talking about how poorly he has been hitting in the postseason, he finally gets a big-time hit here in the top of the 7th. A beautiful swing. A beautiful hit. And it's put in just the perfect spot, hugging the bag. It's a fair ball that hugged the line, went into the right corner, and he was able to slide in to third and avoid the tag, and Rivera couldn't hold on to the ball. So now they have a man in scoring position on third base with 1 out. Unbelievable moment here in Philly. Unbelievable. And they've automatically walked Kyle Schwarber. They're not going to pitch to him. They're going to pitch to Turner. So now you got a man on first and third here with 1 out. Not the smartest decision knowing how great Trey Turner has been hitting. 1 for 2 with a single walk and run today. Regardless, this top 2 of the lineup is not who you want to face. So I don't understand walking Schwarber, but okay. I'd rather face Schwarber. Ginkel warming up in the bullpen as the first pitch to Trey Turner is a strike. Sits on that one. We 0-1. The next pitch from Thompson is swung on and sent into left. The play is made by Gurriel. Here comes Schwarber. He's coming to the... Wait, no. Here comes Rojas coming to the plate. The tag isn't going to be in time. The throw isn't in time. And the Phillies make it a 5-2 ball game. So it's a sacrifice fly for Trey Turner. And the Phillies are now up 5-2. 5-2, folks. 5-2. And Harper is now coming up to bat for the Phillies. Gurriel making the play. I got the names confused. I was thinking of Schwarber, and I realized it's Rojas on third. But here's the pitch to Harper, the first one, hugging the box, and that's going to be a strike on the outside. So that is a strike. An 0-1 count now for Harper. The next pitch is swung on and missed inside. 0-2. He tied up Harper on that one. Harper's 0 for 2 today with the walk. In this postseason so far, he has actually been very dominant, with batting over 300 with a couple homers of his own. Here's the next pitch from Thompson. This one in the zone. Stealing for second. Schwarber. Did they get him? They got him. They got him out at second. Schwarber could not get the steal on Gabriel Moreno. Moreno's been a machine catching guys on steals this year, and he continues that dominance here as they get the third out. So 3 outs now. 1 run does score. Rojas capitalizing off the triple that he hit earlier and coming in on the sac fly to make it a 5-2 ball game. Regardless, we're going to the bottom of the 7th. The Phillies lead over the Diamondbacks 5-2. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the Diamondbacks. That's what I'm talking about. There's an issue with them. There's always an issue. And it's coming out in full display right now. I don't know if you guys can tell. The D-backs are giving me nothing but sadness. I did not pick the D-backs to win the series. I did pick the Phillies. But I was hoping there would be more of a fight. And they are fighting a little bit, but there's just not enough where I can be like, okay, this will go 7. Maybe there's a chance they win it, and then they come up short. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing the Phillies just doing their usual thing. Dominate, dominate, dominate. It's all they do. They're so good at that. So full credit to them, honestly. They've been so impressive. They're probably winning the whole thing this year. No joke. No matter who they face, whether it's the Rangers or Astros, they are likely winning the whole thing. I mean that so sincerely. Speaking of which, let's bring up the Astros moment. We always have our trusty windows ready to go. So once we're there, I will show you guys what video I found today from the fighting. I'm looking up Adolis Garcia now. That's how you're going to find the clip. I have it here. I have it, and I'm going to show you guys in a second here while we're in this commercial break. Let's get the highlight window open, shall we? If you don't know what the highlight window is, this is the highlight scene. We do it all the time. This is where we do our highlights and go over whatever clips I find online that we can look at together and talk about. So we're going to open up the YouTube window and put in the Adolis Garcia clip I have here. We're going to take a look at it together, shall we? So this is what happened. Garcia, for context, hit a 3-1 homer early in the game to give them a big lead. They're in the bottom of the 8th with a man on, no out. Abreu throws this pitch, and Garcia immediately goes after Maldonado like Maldonado was the problem. And the benches are clearing because Adolis Garcia went straight for him and wanted to fight. And he was getting aggressive, and they didn't like it. The Astros are getting intense. Garcia trying to sneak around to get to Maldonado. He went to throw a punch. Maldonado was ready to throw a punch. Maldonado did not get thrown out. But Adolis Garcia ended up getting thrown out of this game. The benches did clear. The bullpen's emptied. They had to separate it all. It was ugly. It was not pretty.
Well, you can understand why he's so hot.
So Garcia took a really bad shot to the body, near the shoulder. And he didn't like, he thinks Maldonado might have called for it. That's what it looks like. And so he took serious offense to whatever happened here. And I don't blame him. I would be pissed off too. But, you know, in my opinion, things happen. The pitcher ended up being thrown out of the game, which is perfectly fine. I got no argument with that. That's probably the right decision. But regardless, that's what happens. And he paid the price for it. In the end, the Rangers ended up losing this game. Houston hit a 3-1 homer in the top of the 9th to take the lead, and the Diamondbacks couldn't do it. I mean, not Diamondbacks. The Rangers couldn't win the game in the bottom of the 9th or tie it up to send it to extras. And now the Phillies have gotten their first out of the bottom of the 7th. My apologies for not covering that. But Dominguez is coming out of the game and bringing in a new pitcher. It was Emmanuel Rivera. He had a quick pop out to Bryce Harper for the first out of the game. I mean, of the bottom of the 7th. So now, we're going to see who the new pitcher is coming in. I couldn't see a name. But we're going to see when they come in who is going to pitch now for the Phillies. Once again, they're up like one. It's like 1 out. Like, the Diamondbacks are done. I think the Diamondbacks are finishing this game. You could stick a fork in them. The game's over. And this is, again, I'm being so honest. It's probably over now. So while we wait for what happens next, let me update the board again. 1 out. Milwaukee does beat Memphis 124-116. That one is over. Every other game has ended. And in the end of the first right now on the NBA TV, San Antonio is still leading Golden State 44-35. Again, preseason basketball, but still important to note. In college football, the only major games that have happened is SMU and Temple. Southern Methodist University crushes Temple 55-0. This game was played on was played today, and SMU absolutely smothered Temple and are now 5-2 after this big win over the Owls. So keep an eye on those Mustangs. They're still kicking. They're doing pretty well. Let's talk about some other news to talk about here. Jamal Adams was fined in the NFL. The safety for the Seahawks was fined $50,000 for his actions toward a concussion doctor on the sideline in the Week 6 game against Cincy. If you guys saw the clip, he was very frustrated and was taking out his anger on him like he was the problem. He was only trying to help him, and he was apologized. He has apologized since then, but the NFL fined him anyway, $50,000. Other big thing to talk about is what's going on with Deion in Colorado. Although they don't look the best right now, it's important to note that Deion is trying to build a big winning culture to sustain long-term in Colorado. And that's why it's amazing that they just landed the 2025's top 4 QB prospect, Antoine Hill Jr. He's number 49 overall prospect in the 2025 class and number 4 quarterback overall. 6'5", 215 recruit out of Houston County High School in Warner Robins, Georgia. He also had offers from Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, LSU, Florida State, and a lot of others. But he chose to play for the Colorado Buffs, and he's already committed. So great news there. Deion doing it again. In now to pitch here, as we go back to the Phillies game, is Gregory Soto. He will be taking over now for the Phillies in place of Seranthony Dominguez as Perdomo's at the plate. 0 for 2 with the pop-up out today. As this pitch is low and in the dirt at his feet, that's a ball, count 1-0. Remember, 1 out right now. 1 out. And the D-backs are down 3 runs. If you want to win, you got to start up the comeback here. As this next pitch is inside the zone. Count is 1-1. It was inside the batter, but it's inside of the box. So next pitch from Soto is going to hit the box this time outside. All right, it's going to be a 1-2 count. In the bullpen for the Diamondbacks, they got Ginkel and Ciccone warming up, ready to go for the D-backs. As next pitch is in the dirt, that's 2-2 count now, well in the dirt. If he would have swung, I would have cried. And not the good kind of cry. I probably would have cried laughing and then in sadness. But regardless, Gregory Soto delivers the next pitch, and this one just misses the top corner of the zone. It's a 3-2 count now. Not bases loaded. Full count. On deck is Ketel Marte. They need a big hit here from Perdomo. Would be really helpful. The pitch is on the way, and he gets a nice hit here over the mitt of a diving Bryson Stott. Goes into center. Johan fields it, but Perdomo's got himself a strong single, and he's on base. So a runner on first with 1 out for Ketel Marte. He has the opportunity to make this an interesting ball game. Can he do it, though? Can he make it happen? That becomes the question. As we rewatch the swing for Perdomo, it was a great contact hit just over the arm of a leaping Bryson Stott. He couldn't come down with that. But Perdomo is safe at first, and they got a man on first with Marte at the plate. His first swing is a miss. Low in the zone. Count is now 0-1 for Ketel Marte. He's 1 for 3 today with a single and a run in this postseason. Batting over 350, so nothing to complain about. He's been pretty good. The pitch from Soto is on the way, low in the zone, low outside of the zone, and it's a 1-1 count. He's missing it low completely. Still in the mid area over the plate, but it's just low. So it's a ball. 1-1 count. The next pitch from Soto is on the way and inside towards his knee. And that one will be also a ball. Count is 2-1. Soto looking a little bit rusty here. Let's see if he can pull it off. Can he get the out here? It's 2-1. Next pitch is up high. He swings and misses. He fouls it off, actually. He swings and fouls it off to the right. He knows he shouldn't have swung. Orion Kerkering is warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. The guy I was talking about earlier when I was showing the Blue Claws hat. He has been doing some impressive things up to this point. So we will see what happens. Counts 2-2. The pitch is at the feet of Marte, the four-seam. And it's a full count again. 3-2 count to Ketel Marte, one of their best hitters this year. The pitch to Marte is outside for ball 4, and they got a man on first and second. The game-tying run is coming to the plate. It's Corbin Carroll, people. Marte on first. Perdomo on second. And there is a chance here. There is a chance that Corbin Carroll could go yard and send this place into pandemonium. I'm saying there's a chance. And if he does, my goodness, this place will be rocking very quick. As the pitching coach is coming out to talk to Soto to settle him down, he's 12 pitches in. And we all know the kind of things that Carroll can do when given the opportunity with the Diamondbacks. The things he can do can make a man shake in fear. But again, he is young, a lot to prove. Clearly one of the best players in baseball this year, one of the great young stars of the future. But it's just going to come down to, can he provide the big push they need here in this moment? Because this could either go two ways. He's either getting a nice hit here and is going to score a run, at least, or he himself is going to ground into a double play and end this inning. It's one of those two. There's no in between. It's one of those two options. Carroll in the NLCS versus Philly has not been good. 1 for 14. In the previous series, he was 3 for 10 with the homer. So that just tells you how rough it's been for him up to this point against Philadelphia. The first pitch is on the way in the dirt, saved by Real Muto. Almost got away from him. The count is now 1-0. That was basically spiked in the dirt. The fact he got that was insane. So the count is 1-0 with 1 out still. Man on first and second. The pitch from Soto. Hit it. It's going to the shortstop. He's trying to make a play on his knee. He gets the out at second, but the runner advances to third, and Carroll is safe at first. It's a fielder's choice play, a force out. And it's now 2 outs for the Diamondbacks, but the runners do advance. We have a man on first and third now. I honestly thought a double play was about to happen. A great play made by Turner. He misses that. 100% Marte's coming home. And also 100% chance that Perdomo is safe, regardless of what happens. And so they're having a mound visit real quick with Soto. We don't know if Soto's coming out of the game yet. He is. Rob Thompson has decided to pull Soto. They're going to the bullpen, and out comes Kerkering. Orion Kerkering is coming out to pitch for the Philadelphia Phillies, who I talked about earlier had one of the nastiest breaking balls I have seen in person. And I mean this, in person. Once again, like I've been mentioning, if you haven't been here the whole stream, I watched him pitch when he was in the minors earlier this year with the Jersey Shore Blue Claws, which is the height of Philadelphia Phillies. He himself is one of the most interesting relievers I've watched. One of the more interesting ones, because his fastball isn't his most attractive pitch. It's his breaking ball. And usually usually one pitch, some kind of thing. He throws a sweeper, which has been a growing phenomena among pitchers in the MLB today. And I don't know how he throws a sweeper. I'm still trying to figure out the grips to it, because it's crazy how he pulls it off. I mean, when I look back at the way he throws it and his delivery when he comes by, that ball will start out right here, right? You see the ball here? Okay. Imagine just the side to side, not like the actual break. I'm talking about the side to side. Not at the height or anything, just look at the side to side. It'll start here, where it looks like it's going to miss him altogether. And it'll finish here in the zone on the outside of it where he can't hit it. I've never seen a ball break the way he throws it. It's at least a foot of break in his pitch. I've never seen it before. I've heard stories and watched it on TV, a sweeper and in that way. And I've been fascinated by it, but I wasn't really too aware of how amazing the pitch is. You see it in person, it changes your whole perspective. It starts here and it finishes over here on the opposite side of the plate. Sometimes it sinks, sometimes it doesn't. It just slides. It's unbelievable. I know what you think. It's maybe that's a slider. No, I'm not talking about a slider. I seriously mean it starts here and it goes here. But the Phillies are quickly running out of options in the bullpen. They're down to Alvarado and Lorenzen for the most part. A couple of the guys they could go to. But Kerkering's coming in. In this postseason, he's got 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts in 4 innings pitched. He has been a big help to them during their postseason push. And now he has an opportunity to make some big, big noise here as Moreno comes to the plate for the Diamondbacks. Going back to the scoreboard here for me to control. Again, this is technically a rookie, but I watched this man pitch. He is one of the most impressive breaking balls I've ever seen. I mean that wholeheartedly. Here's the pitch from Kerkering coming across. If you watched it on the TV, that pitch got released where it would be on the right side of the box, inside the inside of the box towards the batter, and finished almost in the dirt on the opposite side of the box. It's an incredible sweeper, but it's 1-0 count. The next pitch doing the same thing again. It's 2-0 count. He's getting a little nervous here. He's going to have to settle in here. That pitch has got to be released a little bit differently. He's releasing it a little too far, and he's got to come out a little bit more. It's like it's coming in here. It's got to be out here a little bit more. Come out here, and it's not coming across that far. The next pitch, doing the same exact thing again. It's a 3-0 count. He's got to get control of that sweeper. If I am the batter here, I'm waiting for a fastball. Or I'm not even going to swing at this. One or the other. The pitch coming through is a fastball. It hugs the outside of the zone, and it's a strike. So he finally throws a strike. Moreno wasn't going to swing. He should have swung. He would have definitely took that pretty far. Well, the next pitch from Kirkland, probably going back to the sweeper here. Here's the pitch. It is not the sweeper, but it's off the plate. A sinker. It's off the plate regardless. It's a 4-1 walk. And the bases are now loaded for the Diamondbacks. The game-tying run is on first base. The go-ahead run is at the plate. And it belongs to Christian Walker. Bases loaded, people. Bases loaded. On first is Moreno. On second is Carroll. And on third is Marte. It's a 1-0 count here to Christian Walker from Kirkring. The next pitch. Once again, the sweeper sends it off the plate, and they're going to have to go for a mound visit. They got to cool him off and settle him down. 7 pitches. Almost every single one has been off the plate. Not good, not good. 1 pitch has been over the plate today, and it was barely over the plate. They got to settle the kid down. The jitters are getting to him. I'm pretty sure the pressure's on him right now with this 2. Again, it is a 2-0 count, 2 outs, and the bases loaded. A strikeout or a simple ground out or a pop out gets you out of it. And you're all good. You cannot be afraid to let the guy hit the ball. You can control where the ball goes. But in Christian Walker's career with the bases loaded and 47 at-bats, he's got a 2.55 average with 1 homer. And I think that's at 30-something RBIs. That's kind of crazy. But he's not a home run machine in this situation. So if you're thinking he's going yard, he ain't going yard right here. Kirkring with the pitch. Sends it off the plate again, and he held up on the swing. It's a 3-0 count. This is now 7 balls he has thrown in 1 strike in this entire at-bat. He needs to get this figured out. He's got to get this breaking ball under control if he wants a chance at this. Swings at this one. This one was over the plate. This one's fouled back 3-1. That was a good pitch to take there. Walker was trying to swing at it, make contact. He didn't get it. He got a piece of it. And honestly, he was smart to swing at that because that was probably going to get called a strike because it was close enough to the zone. So it's a 3-1 count now. Base is still loaded with 2 outs. The pitch to Walker is high above the zone, and they're walking in a run. Kirkering just walked in a run for the Phillies. The Diamondbacks, it's now a 5-3 game. All it takes now is a hard-hit single to tie this thing up. Kirkering having a meltdown as we're watching it live. 10 pitches. 8 of them were balls. He is struggling to find the zone. Pavin Smith is up. We're at 2 outs. I forgot. We're at 2 outs. Sorry. Counts 1-0 again. Another ball. 11 pitches, 9 balls at this point. This is the hardest part. When you're a young kid, you got to find control of your pitches. And he's not doing that right here. That time he got it. That sinker touches the bottom corner of the zone. The count is now 1-1. He's settling down a little bit. I'm liking it. There you go. Settling down. In the bullpen, they got Alvarado warming up. The next pitch from Kirkring. This one is hit right to Harper. Harper's going to get the out at first, and that'll be the end of the inning, but not before the Diamondbacks get a run after Kirkring had a little bit of a meltdown and walked one in. So again, 2 runs away from tying it is the D-backs, but they're down to their final 6 in the game now. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs. They only capitalized on 1 by getting a walk. They couldn't register the hit they needed. Now they're stuck in this situation. We're going to the top of the 8th. Very fascinated by this, honestly. I really am. So 3-5-1 is correct. 5-6-1 is correct. Okay. I'm trying to make sure the runs, hits, and errors are all still accurate as I'm updating this thing. But we're at the top of the 8th now. We are 12 outs away from the game ending. But right now, let's talk about what we've seen up to this point. Philly and Arizona just going back. Philly has been dominant throughout this. I wouldn't say throughout, but since about the 4th inning, they've been in full control and have gone absolutely wild on the Diamondbacks. They scored 5 unanswered before the bottom 7 happened. And even then, they probably are still going to win this football game. I mean, not, oh my gosh. And even then, they're going to still win this baseball game. Even then. So, right now, I just cannot believe the Phillies and Diamondbacks are in this situation. And I'm sure I've got some clips here we could use of like some of the plays we've seen and talk about it a little bit. I mean, we could totally do it. We're going to bring up the... let's bring up some of the big plays we needed to talk about. MLB has some of their clips posted up online. We'll look at it with how the D-backs got started. We'll do some quick reviews while we wait for the stream to come back. So let's go to the highlight scene once again, folks, and bring it up here.
The
D-backs earlier today.
That wall lines.
This one went down into center field and got past the second baseman, and that scored the first run back in the bottom of the second. They got the scoring started. And then coming up here, Gabriel Moreno got a nice hit up the right field line, which allowed Marte to score from third.
2-0 Arizona.
So Arizona was looking really good to start with a 2-0 lead there in the bottom of the third. Now we come up to this point where Schwarber decides he wants to get in on the action in the top of the fourth. And that line drive was gone quickly and fast. 409, 115 off the bat. So it was 2-1 game at that point. And Brandon Marsh decided he'd get involved and start tying up the game. A little bit at a time, they were getting some work in. And this big hit made it a 2-2 ball game. And the Phillies tied it up at this point in the fifth. Then you go to the madness in the desert here. Okay.
Lefty on lefty, no pitch. Thompson deals, Bohm does, bouncing ball. That is a
one more time.
ball throw to the plate.
So he misses Moreno here. He has to go chase the ball down. And in came Turner to score. And that was the madness here with Bohm getting tagged out at second. We're in the 14 game at that point. As Bohm, speaking of which, in this one, send this one to shallow left, and that's going to be a base hit for the Phillies. Already continuing the hitting now. Top of the 8th, Phillies. My goodness, Phillies. Wow. Phillies up 5-3, and they got a man on first already. Leading off Ginkel's first 2 pitches, he let Bohm get one into shallow left and allowed him to get to first. Not a good start. But like I'm saying, this is where we were at. The Marsh people right here. Everybody going to full impersonation mode today. It was impressive. It was very nice. I mean, I would say, well, I don't know the proper way to put that, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see. But Bryson Stott's not at the plate. The count is 0-1. They got a guy warming up in Phillies bullpen. That is Craig Kimbrell, who blew the game yesterday and allowed Arizona to complete the walk-off. But the count is now 1-1 from Ginkel to Stott. So 1-1 count with the man on first and no outs here for Ginkel. And we're going to count that as a hit. So we're at 7 hits now for the Phillies today. The pitch from Ginkel is fouled off, top of the zone. Count is 1-2. Again, just nothing but impressive performances from both sides. But I think the meltdown has more to do with the pitching decisions and the locations of the pitches. They weren't putting them in good spots. I don't know if you want to blame Moreno for, not locating it and calling the right pitches for him, or if it was on the pitchers for not putting them in the right spots. I don't like blaming pitchers for things like this. As this pitch is in the dirt and Moreno can be able to keep the ball in front of him, so it's going to be 2 balls to 2 strikes. Still no outs here. Stott, though, 0 for 2 today. Now, one thing I do want to note when you talk about pitching is location matters. And if you're a good pitcher, you can put it wherever it's got to be. You know where it's got to go, what gets him out every time. As this pitch is swung on and hit out to deep center, play made by Corbin Carroll, throw coming into second. That's going to hold the runner at first, and we have the first out of the top of the 8th. So a runner remains on first here. We got 1 out. Again, top of the 8th. 5-3 game for Philly over Arizona. As now coming up to the plate, we have JT Realmuto. The pitch to Realmuto is going to be outside for a ball. Slider gets away from him. So 1 ball, no strikes. Realmuto 1 for 3 today with a single and a run in this postseason. Just about a 278 average so far. He hasn't been too bad. 1-0, man on first. Swing is sent over to the first baseman, Walker, and Ginkel makes the play at first to get the out. But Bohm advances to second. So we have a runner on second now with 2 outs. So a runner in scoring position for Philly already, and Ginkel just trying to get out of this so they can move on. We are 10 outs away from a game over, people. 10 outs away from an end of the game, and the Phillies being in a commanding 3-1 series lead. As Castellanos comes up to the plate here, 0 for 3 today with 2 groundouts. He hasn't looked too good ever since his hot start he had back in the NLDS and now in the first game of the NLCS. He hasn't been his best. But the first pitch from Ginkel could always fix that too. As the first pitch is on its way, he swings on and misses it down low in the dirt. 0-1 count. No balls, 1 strike. So runner on second. Ginkel trying to settle in here. 10 pitches so far. Checking on second. Here's the throw. This one low and outside again. Count is 1-1 to Castellanos. Watching the guy on second. He's taking a big lead here. Ginkel watching him. Pitches it anyway. And Castellanos hits this to the third baseman who goes for the tag. And he tried to pull a spin move on him, but Rivera got him anyway. It's an out. They got the force. And that's going to be the 3rd out. The Diamondbacks get out of the inning. Not before leaving a man on base. Rivera ran through, saw Bohm trying to come around. Rather than throw it to first to make a risky throw, he felt it was better to just get the tag as the guy was trying to run and take third. So, I don't blame him. Smart decision. But 3 outs regardless. No runs this time for the Phillies. 1 hit. No errors. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, Arizona have 6 outs left to try and tie this game up and send it to extras or win it. We'll see if they can pull it off. Bottom of the 8th. If you guys are enjoying this stream and you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing on YouTube if you're watching it. And we got more content coming soon, especially for sports related, whether it's NFL, which is usually our main focus, but we do also baseball coverage. We do hockey coverage, basketball coverage, golf coverage. We cover everything practically, and soccer too. We've done soccer, but they're very big on their copyright stuff, so it's hard sometimes, but we do what we can with them as well. And so we're going to try to broaden our horizons a bit with some of the content. We make some of the short videos. You'll see them on TikTok, sometimes on Instagram. You'll see them on Twitter, or X as you want to call it, because Twitter's stupid like that. Or even going towards YouTube. You'll just see our videos here on YouTube Shorts, or YouTube in general. It depends. We have some content ideas we're working on. I want to kind of do some of that next week. Try to start getting more videos in. I have some time off next week from work, so I should be able to get some good stuff in. But again, that is yet to be seen. We will see what happens. So, and if you're watching this on Twitch, I mean this. If you're watching this on Twitch, please consider giving us a follow. We are 1 follower away from hitting 15 on the channel, and we could really use another follow to help us hit our follower goal and continue growing this channel to what it can be. So again, if you guys are watching on Twitch, please consider giving us a follow, and thank you so much. I'm also on social media, so I'll pull up some stuff real quick. So from today's stream earlier today, you may have missed it. From the earlier today, we did have this as our main show. So up there on top, as we do our morning show every weekday on weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, you see these handles here. All of our updates come through here. So YouTube, The Brian Mansell Show, Instagram, The Brian Mansell Show, and on Twitter/X at BA Mansell. You follow us on those handles, we're good. And you can know when we're doing a stream, when we're not doing a stream. Everything is typically updated in terms of status with Twitter, because Twitter's the easiest thing to use. It's quick, type it out, boom, send. You guys are fully up to date with it, and you can just look it up and find it. So you'll probably find out quicker from Twitter than you do anywhere else. But YouTube is where you'll probably see most of the content for the lives. Like the archives of the lives are all in YouTube. Instagram is where you can probably DM me and reach out to me, and we'll be able to talk. And on Twitter, that's where you can find all the updates and everything. And you can reply, and I'll reply back. I'm very open. So, again, that's where you guys can keep track of everything. So if you guys would like to, you can follow us on these social handles up here. I'll give you a couple of seconds before I switch back because Kimbrel has taken the mound with his signature crane move. So we'll see what happens. As the first pitch is on the way, and it's going to be outside the zone, ball 1. That is going to be ball 1 to Gurriel. Let's go back to the scoreboard here. And the pitch to Gurriel that time, he swings and misses on that one. It's a 1-1 count. So oddly enough, Craig Kimbrel really struggles pitching in Chase Field. 1-3 record, 6.35 ERA. He really has a hard time. But Gurriel 0 for 3 today. So whose streak is going to be worse is the question. Last at bat, he struck out. So the next pitch is inside. He didn't swing, so it's a 2-1 count. Kimbrel getting a little wild here. He's got to settle in a bit. And let's see what happens here. They need a big hit, something big to keep them alive here. They need something. Can Gurriel give them a push they need? Let's see what they can do. The pitch from Kimbrel is swung on and sent into left. And it's going to be dropping in for a base hit, possibly for a double. He's going the extra base, and Gurriel pulls out a double. A leadoff double for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they got a runner in scoring position here, and the game-tying run at the plate coming up for the D-backs. And that man is going to be Evan Longoria. Like I said, Longoria looking for his big playoff moment. This could be it right here. If he's able to get a big hit with Arizona, trust me when I say this place will go absolutely ballistic. And Phillies fans can't believe that Kimbrel just did it again. Longoria, historically known for his power bat and great hitting, gets a swing at one that was right down the middle, and he fouls it off to the right. Count is now 0-1. Once again, runner on second. That is a hit for Arizona. That's their 6th hit of the night. Longoria in the regular season runners in scoring position. He wasn't good. 1.72 average, 2 doubles, 2 homers, couple of ribbies. Not too great, but when he did hit, he made them count. As the pitch is on its way low and outside, it's going to be 1-1 now. Kimbrel really struggling to put away the D-backs here. He did the same thing yesterday, like we said earlier, only a few minutes ago. A career 6.35 ERA against in this field. But against Kimbrel himself, Longoria's 1 for 10 with 7 strikeouts. And this one's off the plate again and missing the box. It's a 2-1 count. The question is, who's worse? Craig Kimbrel at Chase Field or Evan Longoria against Kimbrel? Who is worse? Which record is going to be defied today? Kimbrel. The windup. The delivery. Off the plate. It's a 2-2 count. He swung. They didn't have to check the swing. He did swing. Longoria holds up, and that's a 3-1 count. He did not hold up. And so it's 2-2. Alek Thomas is grabbing the bat. He's on deck to go now for the... And Longoria gets a good hit here. Going deep out to left. It's coming in. And Marsh makes the play at the warning track. And he almost got it out. He was so close to getting it out of the ballpark. And Gurriel was waiting and waiting and waiting, but it wasn't far enough. He really reached for that. He wanted that homer, and it came up to the warning track. But unfortunately, Marsh was in the right place, and they make the play. It is 1 out now for these Diamondbacks. Kimbrel is now facing Alek Thomas, who is pinch hitting for Emmanuel Rivera. And this postseason, he has been hitting 160 with 2 homers and 3 ribbies. And he hasn't been too great in this series. As the pitch is on its way, and this one's going to be low underneath the box. Count is 1-0 now to Alek Thomas. Kimbrel really needs to get himself straight now. He's looking about as rough as Kerkering did. Can they avoid it? The next pitch from Kimbrel is inside, nearly hits Thomas, but backs off. Count is 2-0. Once again, one out, man on second. The man on second is Gurriel. The crane move is out again, but can he pull it off? The pitch from Kimbrel is swung on and hit foul. Thomas hits it foul down the right field line, and that is going to be a strike. Count is 2-1. Lovella having a conversation with Thomas about what he needs to do. I'd like to see what the game plan was according to Torey Lovella. My voice is running out, so we're going to have to make the most of this. And the pitch from Kimbrel is inside again. The count is now 3-1 to Alek Thomas. He's going to have to play conservative here if he really wants to beat Kimbrel. That's what it's going to have to take. He's having a rough outing again. And all you need again is a really, really patient at bat to take down Kimbrel. As Kimbrel delivers again, he swung. If he would have been patient, it may have been called a ball. But he fouls it off to the right. And it's a 3-2 count. Not bases. I keep saying bases. It's a 3-2 count. Full count. He needs to either get a walk here or put this in play if they want a real chance to tie this game up right now. The pitch is swung on. He sends it deep to right. It's going far into right center. It's out of here. It's a tie game. Alek Thomas, a 2-run home run for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks have tied the game at 5 apiece here in the bottom of the 8th. 104 off the bat, 412 distance. Oh my goodness, I did not see that coming at all. I couldn't have predicted that at all. There was no chance. The stadium is bouncing. It's electric. They have never been this excited since 2001. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, the entire field is shaking. Kimbrel did it again. He did it again for the second night in a row. 15 pitches and 2 runs result. Kimbrel has a meltdown. Arizona ties it up. Oh my goodness. As the next pitch from Kimbrel is inside and low again to Perdomo. And again, what a swing. A beautiful hit. I felt it was going to be short. I was convinced it was going to be short. But they showed the camera shot and it was definitely far enough. 1-0 now to Perdomo. As the pitch is on its way, he holds up. And it's in the zone, looks like, for a strike. They're checking swing. They're saying he swung. Count is 1-1. What a beautiful, beautiful swing that was. A great read by Thomas, and he sends it out into the pool. The next pitch, Perdomo, is hugging the outside of the zone. It's going to be a 1-2 count now. It's still 1 out in this inning, and you can look at Thomas's face and Kimbrel's face. Kimbrel's like, yup, they're going to hunt me down in Philadelphia. And that sounds about right. Especially after this one. And the next pitch is a strikeout. Perdomo goes down looking on a great pitch from Kimbrel that time. The movement on that one was actually disgusting. But it is a strikeout nonetheless. And we have 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 8th. Again, I'm still processing that Alek Thomas just tied this game. Pinch hitting. What? Pinch hitting for Emmanuel Rivera. And now Ketel Marte's at the plate, and he gets a good hit. That's going into left field for a base hit up to Marsh. The play could be made by Bohm. So we got a man on first again for the D-backs. This is going to get interesting, folks. This is going to get interesting. Runner on first. That registers the hit. Now you've got Corbin Carroll back up again. Can he make some magic happen is the question. Can he make it happen? Gosh, I've never been this excited. I've never seen a tie game like that. What a hit that was. I probably haven't gotten that loud since Harper hit that big home run, monster shot, and Castellanos too, in Game 3 of the NLDS when I was calling the Phillies and Braves game. Haven't done it that loud since then. But they're having a mound visit with Kimbrel to try to settle him down. 20 pitches now. He's only got 2 outs, and it's his only inning he's pitched in. Not too good for a guy who used to be a closer. Not good at all. So the door is open for the Diamondbacks again. We're going to see if they can pull it off. Can they take the lead here in the 8th with the big hit from Corbin Carroll? Can it put them in motion? Carroll has been struggling a lot in this series. 0 for 4 now. He had a fielder's choice result last at bat. Can he change the fate of his ways and how he's done in this postseason with this at bat right here? Kimbrel winds up, delivers, and he hits Carroll. He hits Carroll in the knee. That's going to put him on first. We got a runner on first and second. Carroll's limping a bit. That was a rough hit he just took. And Thompson looks like he's grinding his teeth down to a pulp, to a powder. You're making a call to the bullpen, but that was a shot he just took to the knee. I really hope Carroll's okay. It bounced off right about, if I could show that, I wish I could. Oh, that was nasty. Essentially, I'm going to pull it up here and explain to you guys where he hit it. He hit right about here. Like when you're winding up and you're waiting for the pitch, it comes into contact right on the outside of the knee. So that would be, if I'm standing this way, right here. So he hit full on bone right there. That's tough. That is tough. That's not okay. Not okay. I hope he's all right. Hopefully he can still go, but apparently they're just checking him out at first, just make sure he can walk. And he's able to run a little bit. They're checking him out with mobility checks, see if he can still run. Got mobility in that right leg. He's doing his high knees just to make sure. And doing some stretches. And he's doing okay. But Rob Thompson ain't doing okay because he's coming out to pull Kimbrel out. Which means I go to the bullpen. My guess is that Alvarado's coming in. I mean, that would be my guess. But I think, wait, or did Alvarado already come in? Nope. Alvarado will likely be the choice here. That's my guess. Alvarado will have to come in to pitch for the Phillies. I cannot believe that Alek Thomas came in to pinch hit for Emmanuel Rivera. He hadn't been hitting good in this postseason, but he got a hold of this one, and he tied the game up so quickly. And an amazing dive into the pool to get the baseball from the D-backs fans going absolutely berserk. It's like the most miraculous scenes I've ever seen. I'm definitely finding a clip on Twitter. This is 100% happening. So you guys understand what I just witnessed. And if you guys are watching the game, you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about. I got the clip, people. I've got the clip. Are we ready? We're going to the highlight scene. We're showing it off right here. We're going to show the replay from the beginning.
He deals. Thomas in the air to right field. That's back. Castellanos on the run. And we are tied. Alek Thomas takes the ride of his life.
That's what y'all just witnessed. And I'm trying to see if I can find a clip of the guy jumping into the pool for the ball.
The barrel deep into right
Here we go.
Castellanos could only watch, and it lands in the pool. That was a swinging strike.
One more time. Let's get a better shot of this.
Right center, Castellanos could only watch, and it lands in the
All the fans jumped into the pool for that. That was great. They jumped into the pool. Come on, where are you? Right, they actually jumped in the pool to get the baseball. There's got to be a shot of the guy jumping in the pool somewhere. I'll find it, if anything, but for right now, we're getting ready to come back from commercial as they show Pete Davidson on a TV once again. You should get him off my TV. But I'm still stunned about everything I just witnessed. I really am. I cannot believe that just happened. Now they got a runner on first and second. A strong single will give them the lead over the Phillies, and we will be 3 outs away from a tied series. A tied series. After I just said I felt this game was over. Because again, here I am counting teams out again and paying the price for it. I gotta say, that fan who dove into that pool to get that ball is insane. And apparently Kimbrel was booed off the field as well. So they're kind of in trouble here. So now that he kind of created a lot of trouble here, now we're gonna get Now it's going to get interesting. I was right. The call to bullpen was for Alvarado, the lefty. He's going to have to go up against... this is going to be interesting, actually. He's up against Gabriel Moreno, a lefty on a righty. Let's see how it goes. Carroll on first. Marte on second. The pitch is on its way. And inside at the ankles and low. 1-0. Don't tell me Alvarado's going to choke too. This will not be a good outcome if Philly ends up choking this away and Alvarado creates problems. This would be very bad news. Again, one single or a double could give them the lead. A single or double could give them the lead here. The next pitch from Alvarado, another one inside. Count is 2-0. He's got some speed on it, some juice on it, but it is not going anywhere. And in Moreno's career against Alvarado, he's 1 for 2 with and that hit being a double, and that includes the postseason. The next pitch from Alvarado is in the dirt. 3-0 count. These guys are really having it right now. They are really having a hard time. That was a cutter, sinker, sinker in that order. Where do you go here? Fastball, or do you go back to a sinker again? What are you going to do? On deck is Christian Walker, so if he gets walked or he goes into play here, I would be absolutely terrified to see what happens. As that one's right down the middle for a strike. Alvarado knows the rule. Don't ever swing. Don't ever swing on a 3-0 pitch. Even though it's a strike every time, I would swing. Personally, I know if the pitcher's good and you get straightened out, I'm swinging on it. But here's the pitch from Alvarado. He gets a great hit here. This is going into center field. It's bouncing in for a base hit. Rojas tries to throw it in. He's going to score. Marte's going to score. The Diamondbacks have taken the lead back in miraculous fashion. And the D-backs lead 6-5. A runner on first and third with 2 outs. With 2 outs, folks. The D-backs are back on top. They did it. They did it. They really did it. Gabriel Moreno the hero right now. And now the Phillies are 4 outs away from being tied in this series. Going into Game 5 tomorrow. What are we witnessing, folks? What are we witnessing? 6 runs, 9 hits. I don't know what I'm watching. Christian Walker at the plate. This one, he's sending it to right, but it's going right to Castellanos, just short of the warning track, and that'll be the 3rd out. But not before the D-backs pull off the impossible. After being down 5-3 to Philly, Alek Thomas, in a pinch-hitting appearance, batting under 200 in this postseason, comes in, hits a 2-run shot to tie it. And then here, with a man on first and second, Moreno comes up to the plate facing Alvarado, and he gets a big hit single into the left that allows Marte to come around and score and give them the go-ahead run to lead 6-5. A 3-run swing in the bottom of the 8th. The Phillies are now 3 outs away from being tied with the Diamondbacks going into Game 5 tomorrow, where it will be Wheeler versus Gallen. I have no words for what we just saw. That was one of the most miraculous things I have ever seen. It's insane. It's like the D-backs are acting like the team of destiny the Marlins were in 2003. I can't believe this. This is quite literally one of the greatest things I've seen in postseason baseball in a while. And I mean a while. It's been a while since I've seen something like this. I'm not even joking. This is the truth. But regardless, they're going to the top 9 now. And it's time to see what could happen. Can the Phillies tie it up? Can the Phillies pull it off? Can they even the game out? Can they take the lead? Can they do what the D-backs just did? It comes down to this moment right here. This specific moment. You want to make a name for yourself as a Phillies player? This is your moment. You are known for comebacks. You are known for big moments. This is the moment to do it. Right here against the Diamondbacks. Their bullpen has been struggling all night, but one man is coming in to pitch, relieving Ginkel, and it's the closer, Paul Sewald, coming in for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Sewald has been nothing short of incredible in this postseason. Can he get another strong outing here and secure the victory for the Diamondbacks to tie the series? That is the question. This is very impressive. Very impressive. Now, this is where things get interesting. The batters in this lineup, the first three, are Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas, and then we're back to the top of the order with Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber has already hit a homer tonight. He is in 2 at-bats tonight. He has registered a hit and walked twice. Turner has walked once and recorded 1 hit in 2 at-bats. There is a very strong chance right now that we could potentially see a tie game because either Schwarber or Marsh goes yard. There is a very strong chance. So I would not count anybody out. After seeing what they just did, I wouldn't count anybody else. But Longoria is out to play third base, and Alek Thomas is taken over in center field. Corbin Carroll's been shifted to right field, and that's what the outfield now looks like for the Diamondbacks as Sewald is on the mound. And the first pitch is high up in the zone for a ball to Brandon Marsh. Sewald so far this postseason has been very good. He's only allowed 2 hits basically in the few innings he has pitched. Here's the pitch. This one inside, just missing the zone. The count now at 2-0. Brandon Marsh 1 for 3 today with an RBI double. This is what I meant by it could be very dangerous. He's hit very well in this postseason. Marsh just about .350 in hitting. As the pitch is on the way, and he pops this one up, going down the left field line, and it's out of the reach of the third baseman. It's going to be a foul ball. But the count is 2-1 regardless. And on deck is Jake Cave, so they're making a substitution. Johan Rojas is out of this one. They're going to put Jake Cave in to try to get a hit for the Phillies at the bottom of the order. The pitch from Sewald is on the way, and they're calling it a strike. Marsh doesn't like the call, but it's a strike. It's about right around the inside high corner, but it's a 2-2 count regardless. Remember what I said to you guys earlier in the stream. I don't care if you want to argue balls and strike that they're really far away, but if they're really close, you can swing and make contact. Swing and make contact. As this pitch is popped up and sent foul, left side again. 2-2 count, top of the ninth here. Sewald at 5 pitches now. 5 pitches. D-backs up by 1 run. The pitch on the way from Sewald. Another swing from Marsh popped back behind the backstop, behind the plate. And that'll be another foul ball. 2-2 count again. Top of the ninth. This is it, people. This is the big pitch. Sewald delivers it. Swung on and fouled off again. Marsh fighting off the 4-seam. 7 pitches now. Count remains the same at 2-2. This game is filling me with anxiety, and I'm not even a fan of either of these teams, despite the fact that I'm wearing a D-backs hat. The pitch is on the way from Sewald, and it is a strikeout off the plate just outside his zone, and Marsh doesn't like the call. Marsh is arguing it with the home plate ump, and he's sending him back to the dugout before he gets himself tossed. That's the first out for the D-backs right there. They're 2 outs away. It looks like Thompson's giving a warning. It's looking like he's giving the ump a warning. That's kind of crazy. The pitch was definitely close. I'm not going to lie to you. It is definitely close to off the plate. It's a close call. But honestly, the frame job from Moreno was very good. And listen, you can argue balls and strike all you want, but you have to also understand, if a catcher does a really good frame job, you're good. You're going to have those calls happen. But now up to the plate is the pinch hitter, Jake Cave, coming in for Johan Rojas. He's hitting .212 in the regular season, but in this postseason, his 1 appearance, he got a double. So let's see if he can get another double here or get on base. Can he give the Phillies a little bit of spark here in the top of the ninth? The Diamondbacks, again, 2 outs away from tying up the series at 2 going into Game 5 tomorrow night. The pitch from Sewald is a strike. Inside, touching the box a little bit, and it's enough to garnish a strike. to garner a strike. So it's 0-1 now. Sewald has his pitch selected. He's framing it. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's interesting. Moreno lined up for it to be inside and high and ended up being outside and high. So he was prepared for that pitch and saw the setup. 0-2. I like what Sewald did there. It fooled Cave. The next pitch on the way is going to be just high and outside, just a little bit high. So count is now 1-2. That's the first ball he's thrown here. Very impressive. Very impressive, I have to say. First ball he's thrown in this at-bat. The next pitch is on the way, and it's fouled off by Cave to the left. For some reason with this fastball, people really struggle against Sewald's pitch. I can't understand it either. His pitch is his fastball isn't really that fast either. It's like a 93 pitch, which is kind of crazy. For MLB, the guys struggle with higher pitches and faster pitches. As that one was definitely high and outside. Another four-seam that got away from him. Counts now 2-2. If you guys are hearing the buzz, and that is my phone, because I don't want my phone to go off during this stream. But Schwarber's on deck. Remember that. Schwarber is on deck. One swing could change the game. The next pitch is off the plate again outside. It's a full count for Jake Cave. If he throws a ball, Schwarber will get on with as the potential go-ahead run if they hit a homer. The pitch to Cave. Swing and a miss. Got him. Sewald gets him on a high little strike, and he goes underneath. I think it was going to be middle. It was high, and it is a second out now for the D-backs. One away from securing the Game 4 victory as Schwarber, the man who has caused so much trouble to the D-backs in this series, he's up to bat. Sewald has faced a lot of great batters in his lifetime, but there may never be a bigger moment for him than right now. First pitch to Schwarber. Schwarber sends this one. That's going to fall in for a base hit going to the wall in right field. Corbin trying to make a play, and Carroll is unable to cut it off at second. Sewald allows a hit, and Schwarber is on second. He's in scoring position to tie the game, and Trey Turner is coming up to the plate. Turner is coming up to the plate. That first pitch was inside, but like I said, it doesn't matter if the pitch is inside or not. You swing or you don't swing. And that time Schwarber definitely listened because he swung even though it was somewhat of an inside pitch. And he took it. And Schwarber's coming out of the game. They got a pinch runner in for him. It's going to be Edmundo Sosa. Edmundo Sosa will be the runner for Kyle Schwarber. So man on second, you had a double here. Trey Turner now up to bat for the Phillies. Big moment. Big moment. Once again, 1 out away from securing a Game 4 victory. Trey Turner has hit decently well against Paul Sewald in his career. But the first pitch is outside, ball one. Counts 1-0. He's 2 for 6 in his career, including the postseason. And that includes, I think, a double I saw in there and a homer. So he really does have a way of getting to Sewald. The pitch from Sewald is outside again, 2-0. He's starting to get a little riled up here. You don't want a Kimbrel moment, do you? The last thing you need is to let Bryce Harper come to the plate and absolutely wreck your franchise again. You do not want that by any means. Don't let it happen. The next pitch is down the middle. He swings and misses. Strike one. Turner was not ready for that fastball, and it shows. The count is now 2-1. 2 strikes away. 2 strikes away from tying this series. The pitch from Sewald. It swung on and missed again. This one high. This was a high strike, and he swung and missed. Again, throwing high, they're missing mid. That's how it goes. Count is now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 strike away from securing the victory. Can Sewald pull it off? Can he do it? Here's the pitch. He swings and he pops it up, and it's going foul out to the right. It's come a little shallow, but it's still going out and right off the right field line into the stands. A fan gets a nice souvenir from a high-pressure moment. 2-2 count again. 2 outs. Man on second in scoring position. Trey Turner, one of the hottest hitters in the postseason this year. You need to cool him off. You need to get him out right here. Can Sewald pull it off? Tying run at second. Here's the pitch. He swings on and misses. He strikes out. Turner strikes out. And Sewald secures the save. The Diamondbacks pull victory from the jaws of defeat and beat the Phillies in Game 4 and tie the series at 2 apiece. At 2 apiece. Alek Thomas, the hero, tying this game up initially back in the bottom of the 8th, which triggered the big score that happened in the bottom of the 8th on the RBI that let Ketel Marte score. The D-backs have tied the series at 2. Game 5 tomorrow in Chase Field. We'll see you then. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that. I don't think anybody was prepared for that. What a moment. What a moment. Let's look back at Sewald's pitch real quick. This one, underneath, he again, they undercut the ball on their swing, and it keeps happening. And it becomes decisive for the Diamondbacks, as that was the final strike they needed to prove to everybody, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. The series is tied at 2. Game 5 tomorrow. Zach Wheeler, Zach Gallen. A rematch of Game 1, where Gallen got absolutely pummeled. And they could all change right here tomorrow. And they can reverse the course, as Arizona now has the chance tomorrow to take a 3-2 lead in the series and go back to Philly with the lead. A real chance for this. The D-backs giving their fans hope. Something they haven't seen in a long time. Going over a decade. Oh my goodness. And I meant that very seriously when I said that. I can't believe it. I'm processing this. I can't believe that just happened, man. I'm genuinely stunned. Genuinely stunned. You're right, Tofu Boy. Turner is dangerous, man. You know, D-backs are crazy. The D-backs are a crazy team, man. That's why their thing is bring chaos. That is their thing. Make things so chaotic as they can. And it just happened now. I'm really stunned. Oh my goodness. No problem, man. I'm always happy to do commentary. You know, I love doing these live reactions and play-by-play. It's something I really like doing, so I thought I'd do a little bit of that now. But let's just talk about what we just witnessed. An incredible comeback in the bottom of the 8th by Alek Thomas with a 2-run game-tying home run. That was ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. I'm still processing it. And they just won the game, and I'm still processing it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it was just... I can't believe that just happened. There's got to be a picture or a video of the guy that jumped in the pool. I'm trying to find it. If I could find the video of the guy going into the pool, that'd be great. I need that. The guy that jumped in the pool. If I could find it, that would be amazing. But I'm digging for it now. I'm trying to find it, but in the meantime, let's talk about really what became the decisive thing. When they really should have lost the game, personally, I really do think D-backs were ready to lose this game. They really should have lost the game. And the way that happens is, in the end, the pitching decisions were not great from Lovello, and it almost costed them. Early on, you had some really good stuff from Frias, and they just did not stick with him. And they ended up having an issue afterwards because Sal Frank didn't look great. He was creating some issues. You go back and you view some of the pitchers who were up here pitching for the D-backs, and Frias is probably the best one. Nelson didn't look great. He gave up a homer to Schwarber. Then they put Castro in for too long, and he gave up a run. Sal Frank came in. He gave up a run, or he gave technically 2 runs. So he was another one that didn't do great. Thompson gave up a run. But then Ginkel and Sewald came in, and they just had the miracle moment where all the mistakes they made with the substitutions went out the window, and the offense did their job and capitalized on Philly's mistakes with their pitching. Because once again, courtesy of Mr. Craig Kimbrell and Orion Kirkring, the Diamondbacks came back in this game and were able to secure the victory after almost certainly losing this thing to the Phillies. Phenomenal turnaround. What a game. I will 100% not have a voice tomorrow. That's why I'm glad we do the morning shows on weekdays. Because if we would have done them on the weekends, I think I would have had to cancel the show tomorrow. So, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is a game of madness. This was a game of madness. And that's what you love about baseball. Madness. Madness is what it is. And while we continue to talk, I'm still trying to find the video of the guy who jumped in the pool. They had it on there, the video of them jumping in on the television, and I wanted that. I can't believe it. I'm actually very upset that I can't find this clip. But let's go over some fan reactions. I think we need to show some fan reactions. Should we? I think that's the best way to end this off, is showing some fan reactions and everything that happens. The final moment I'll have for you right here of the game-winning pitch. I will have that for you right now as we speak. I will have it for you. This is the pitch that secured it all. Right here for this Game 4 victory that keeps them alive. I'm so happy for them. I'm not even kidding. The D-backs deserve everything they have right now.
2-2. Turner, a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Seawald closes the door. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, with back-to-back wins, have evened up this best-of-7 series at 2 apiece. And it was the kids who brought them home.
They did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. They came out and they showed out. They did it. They really did. Oh, it went to the wrong screen. Sorry about that, everybody. We'll go to lone host. There we go. So, yeah, again, a big, big victory here for the D-backs. I wish I could update the top, but apparently this is a graphic that I don't have the text editor up there to make that change. But again, the D-backs secure the victory here over the Phillies as I continue to search for the man who jumped in the pool because I think it's very funny. And if I could find that clip, I am 100% putting it on here as fast as I can. Because I know you guys probably aren't going to stick around very long. Because now that the game's over, you guys probably just want to call it a night. So I'm just digging as much as I can to try to find it. Let me see if I can find it. Come on, come on, come on. Don't make me sit here forever. I'd be so upset if I couldn't get it. I really would be. Come on. There's a video of the fan that jumped in the pool somewhere. I just typed in pool. We'll see what happens.
Could only watch and it lands a strike. He deals.
Somebody got the video of them hitting the home run, but I don't have the thing about him with the pool. Yeah, I can't find it. I'm a little confused here. So, oh, there we go. We got a video. We got a picture. I'm going to see somebody's got the video. No, I don't think that's it. I think it's the same thing again. Yep. All right. So this is, again, here's the photo. Now we can end the stream the right way. We got to end the stream the right way, so I've got the photo. I'm going to show you guys real quick right now, and then we can call it a show. That's the photo. The fans literally jumped into the pool for the ball. That just tells you how cool the Diamondbacks fans are and how cool the ballpark is. I've said it for a long time. If you guys haven't been to the Diamondbacks ballpark, you got to go. Have to. It has to be on your bucket list. If you're going to visit ballparks, this is the ballpark to go to. They're a good ballpark. So if I were you, consider that. It's a great ballpark. But once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We're going to jump back to this quick screen. Thank you all for tuning in. Great show today. Great having you guys and having you guys listen in. If you guys chose to listen to me today, thank you. I'm so grateful for you guys for tuning in for the live commentary. Once again, I'm Brian Mansell, a sports media professional, here doing a show called The Brian Mansell Show every weekday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, here on Twitch and on YouTube. So in case you guys want to tune in for those and stay in touch with all the stuff we do, because we cover all in sports, everything, I would recommend you follow us here on Twitch. We don't do subs because we believe you guys shouldn't have to pay for the access to us and the content we do. And for YouTube, a subscription would obviously help us a great amount. Subscribe, keep up with all of our new content, and whenever we go live, you guys get the updates for that too. So please make sure to do notifications for both. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back Monday. I mean this. We'll be back Monday with more. But until then, thank you guys so much. Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. we'll be live. Thank you all again for tuning in. We'll see you all next time. Enjoy college football tomorrow. Enjoy playoff baseball tomorrow and Sunday. And enjoy NFL football on Sunday. Once again, thank you guys so much. And we'll see you on Monday.
I keep my head above the water when I go in. I hope I know I'll stay afloat if the world doesn't. I wrote a note to say I'm fine if you wanna leave, but I'll be better if the sun stays bright on me. I keep my head above the water when I go in. I hope I know I'll stay afloat if the world doesn't. I wrote a note to say I'm fine if you wanna leave, but I'll be better if the sun stays bright on me. Yeah. Better if the sun don't leave. Better if the moon and the stars they see. Better if the words to the song finally get sang along and the world finally shines on me. Better if you never even thought to leave. Better if the devil never noticed me. Better if the tears that I shed late at night in my bed added up to a cup of tea. One day we'll be up, I promise. Yeah, then look at me, mama, finally got design. Finally got you a crib, took you to Bahamas. Finally got Papa all the golden Rolex watches. Finally got me a place I could call my own throne from the songs that I wrote from home. Don't know where I go, but I know the road, cause I know I keep my head above the water when I go in. I hope I know I'll stay afloat if the world doesn't. I wrote a note to say I'm fine